Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sharjah Research, Technology and Innovation Park. To commence our day, I kindly ask you to all arise for the national anthem of the United Arab Emirates. And now I'm delighted to introduce a glimpse where innovation meets opportunity. Let's take a closer look at the vision, the impact, and the journey of the Sharjah Research, Technology and Innovation Park, now known as SPARC.
Because every day starts the same way. Certain details escape us until we actually notice them. And that often happens when it is least expected. Discovery consists of seeing what everybody has seen and thinking what nobody has thought. An idea never really chooses its moment. An idea, where does it come from anyway? An idea always comes unexpectedly. Usually when we're busy doing something else. An idea simply requires paying attention, catching, noticing what barely moves, feeling. An idea sometimes starts with just a detail. An idea always grows richer when we share it. An idea is already there. You just have to know how to look. An idea often begins with a simple, what if? An idea isn't just dreaming. It's perceiving what was already there. An idea. That's precisely Sharjah Research, Technology and Innovation Park. Inspiring the inspired.
Your Highness, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the 6th edition of the Women in Technology Forum. We are deeply honored by the presence of Her Highness Sheikh Abdur bin Sultan Al Qasimi, Chairperson of Sharjah Research, Technology and Innovation Park today, whose vision and leadership continue to inspire Sharjah's journey as a hub for innovation, education, and opportunity. This year, our theme is longevity and next generation living. It reflects our focus on the future, on how innovation and technology can help us not only live longer lives, but live them smarter, healthier, and with a greater impact. Our discussions today also connect to the UAE Vision 2031, which aims to create a knowledge-driven society built on innovation, sustainability, and inclusivity. By exploring longevity through the lens of technology, we are contributing to this national vision, one where women lead in shaping a brighter and more sustainable future for generations to come. We will commence our day with a welcome note by His Excellency Hussein Al Mahmoudi, CEO of Sharjah Research, Technology and Innovation Park.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Your Highness Sheikh Abdur bin Sultan Qasimi, Chairperson of the Board of Directors of Spark. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's my great honor to welcome you to the 6th edition of the Women in Technology Forum, a powerful platform dedicated to advancing the role of women in innovation, entrepreneurship, science. This is a mission very close to our heart, and one we embrace with utmost seriousness and passion. At the outset, I extend my deepest gratitude to Her Highness for her presence and patronage of the park. Her leadership transformed this institution into a true hub for innovation and excellence. Her presence today reaffirms a profound truth. Women empowerment is not an option. It is a cornerstone of a nation building and a driving force for progress. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to share with you some exciting updates on the progress we are making at Spark. With over 10,000 members incorporated, we have launched 4 strategic focus areas that are shaping the future of creating business opportunities for our members, and those are healthcare, mobility, sustainability, and advanced manufacturing. Second, we are soon unveiling Base 39, a dedicated creative hub that will bring together artists, designers, innovators to collaborate, showcase, and ignite Sharjah's creative economy. Third, we are fully revamping our Sharjah Open Innovation Lab, positioning as a leading regional center for prototyping, serving industries, academia, and government. 4, we are launching a comprehensive research and commercialization program, together with new policies that will empower our ecosystem members and transform their ideas into impactful ventures and building regional next unicorns. Last but not least, we are deepening our local and international collaboration with leading innovation hubs and science parks, expanding our global reach, opening new opportunities for our community and our members. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme, Next Generation Living, this forum creates a platform for knowledge exchange, strategic partnership, and bold conversation on issues that affect us all: mental well-being, quality of life, longevity supporting technologies, and sustainable living. It is also a unique opportunity to celebrate you, our ecosystem members. It is a stage to showcase the remarkable achievement of women entrepreneurs who embodied the UAE vision for innovation and who serves as a role model in science, technology, and leadership. Dear guests, inspired by the UAE recent National Entrepreneurship Campaign, and in recognition of the vital role entrepreneur plays in building our economy, and with the direction of Her Highness, I am proud to announce a new initiative from Spark, a 50% discount on company incorporation fees for all women entrepreneurs, valid for 2 months on the occasion of this forum. This will be complemented by free access to our flagship events and ecosystem programs, therefore empowering every new ventures. This initiative is not about support. It's about opening doors and creating new opportunities. It is about encouraging more women to step forward, to transform ideas into enterprises, and to create impact that will echo for generations. Thank you all, and welcome once again to the Women in Technology Forum. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. It's now my privilege to invite to the stage a visionary leader whose commitment to empowering women and driving transformative initiatives has shaped Sharjah's role on the global stage, Her Highness Sheikha Budur bint Sultan Al Qasimi.
Assalamu alaikum. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues, good morning. What a pleasure to see this forum going from strength to strength. It reflects not just the rapid pace of technological progress, but also the determination of our women in technology community to shape progress together. As more and more women in MENA enter the workforce, we're also seeing a transformation in the way technology is designed, deployed, and developed. Nowhere is this more evident than here in Sharjah. At the Research, Technology, and Innovation Park, we have built a thriving ecosystem of more than 9,000 companies, an ecosystem that empowers women in technology and positions our emirate at the forefront of innovation. Last year, I spoke about the ethicality of AI and the importance of having women at the center of this debate. We need to ensure that increased female labor force participation is not undermined by algorithms designed in male-dominated spaces. This year, I want to take that conversation further. We live in a time of unprecedented transformation. Global challenges like climate change and food security demand innovative solutions. Economic systems need fresh thinking. On top of that, AI presents a huge opportunity, even as some countries grapple with rapid changes in traditional jobs. In the face of these shifts, two competencies stand out as essential for navigating the future: long-term thinking and strategic risk management. And women have excelled at both. And now, as these global challenges intensify, I want to celebrate how women's intrinsic strengths, amplified by technology, can build the resilience our world so urgently needs. The rise of AI reinforces the need for a proactive approach. Like every great technological shift, it arrives as a wave of change, full of risks, but also immense possibilities. As Mustafa Suleyman, author of The Coming Wave and co-founder of DeepMind, warns, the most urgent task is not to vainly stop the wave, but to sculpt it. Well, women have always been important social sculptors. Women have always played a critical role in how societies progress, shaping health, education, and systems of care. Navigating today's transformation is no different. To shape solutions for the future, we must draw on two core competencies where women excel: long-term thinking and strategic risk management. And let's look at these two competencies in turn. The first is strategic risk management. The diversity of decision-making that women bring to industry has a positive effect on how risks are understood and managed. It's not about being risk-averse, but about being more risk-aware. McKinsey's 2024 Women in the Workplace survey shows that women's share of C-suite roles grows, companies see stronger innovation and performance, a vital opportunity in MENA, where women's labor force participation is still growing. A University of Manchester study found that companies led by women CEOs are nearly 10% points more likely to survive than those led by men. I apologize to all the men in the audience. Companies with more women in leadership are more resilient and often outperform during crises. Women bring more inclusive decision-making, trusted communication, and often higher valuations. When it comes to long-term thinking, women are equally adept. Anthropologist Helen Fisher argues that women are natural long-term planners. Drawing on archaeological evidence, brain imaging, genetics, and large-scale surveys, her research shows that women tend to gather more data, consider context, use intuition, and approach problems with what she calls web thinking, a holistic, interconnected style. This long-term integrative mindset helps explain why women are often strong investors. When technology is added to the mix, these natural strengths are amplified. AI enhances evidence-based scenario planning, enabling us to prepare for the challenges of climate change, water scarcity, and rapid urbanization. Data and machine intelligence combined with women's inclusive long-term perspective can turn uncertainty into resilience. We see this in action every day, from women-led agricultural tech startups developing solutions for desert farming, to female founders creating innovations in water management, sustainable urban development, and renewable energy systems. In this age of constant change, therefore, women in technology are not only capable transformation leaders, they are also builders of resilient systems, sculptors of ethical innovation, and architects of a more secure future. As we unite today to talk about next-gen living, we are not just adapting to change. We are reimagining the future in an age of transformation. Resilience is not only about surviving the present, it is about creating sustainable, healthier, and smarter ways of living for generations to come. When we address these challenges collectively through this inspiring community, times of transformation become extraordinary opportunities for innovation and prosperity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Highness, for your continuous leadership and support. To continue, we are honored to welcome our esteemed keynote speaker, Her Excellency Uhud Khilfan Al-Rumi, Minister of State for Government Development and the Future, Chairwoman of the Higher Committee for Government Digital Transformation.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Your Highness, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to begin by expressing my deep appreciation to the organizers for bringing us here today. It's a great honor to be here today in the presence of Her Highness Sheikh Abdur bin Sultan Al Qasimi. Her Highness is a pioneering leader and visionary, and a source of inspiration to countless women across our region and the world. She leads with a rare balance between ambition and humility, between tradition and progress, and between global vision and deep local roots. To me, and to many women around the world, Her Highness embodies the authentic and balanced leadership that we look up to. And through platforms such as Sharjah Research Technology and Innovation Park in Shirah, she has championed founders, accelerated innovation, and expanded opportunity for the next generation. Thank you, Your Highness. Ladies and gentlemen, This year's theme, Next Generation Living, reminds us that technology is not only about smart systems. It is about enabling healthier, longer, and more fulfilling lives. Governments are increasingly recognizing that frontier technologies require a holistic approach linking innovation with wellness, sustainability, and opportunity. For the UAE, that means designing future that is inclusive and resilient, powered by the talents of all our people, women and men alike. Distinguished guests, the UAE has invested for decades in women's education and empowerment. In the tech sector, the results are clear. Nearly 56% of STEM graduates at UAE universities are women. Women represent 30% of the UAE's tech workforce, exceeding the global average of 25%. But in new fields, such as AI, only around 24% of learners in the UAE are women. This is a gap we must close quickly. These figures show both strength and urgency. Women are ready, capable, and ambitious, but we must accelerate their presence in frontier technologies. Building on this foundation, the UAE government has launched initiatives to ensure women thrive in future-driven sectors. First, the UAE Gender Balance Strategy, our national framework to reduce gender gaps across sectors and achieve gender balance in decision-making positions. As a result, women today represent 50% of our parliament and almost 28% of our ministers. Second, targeted programs to support entrepreneurs with attention to women founders. And let me highlight one, Future 100. It is a national initiative led by the Government Development and the Future Office in collaboration with the Ministry of Economy and Tourism. The initiative celebrates and accelerates the 100 most promising companies shaping the UAE's future economy. We are proud that women founders represent around 30% of the Future 100 companies, with strong representation in sustainability, healthcare, and fintech. And a special thank you to Spark and Shira for their continued engagement, support, and partnership since inception. Together, these programs show the UAE model: government as an enabler, creating opportunity, and unlocking national potential. Dear friends, entrepreneurs and innovators share core needs, such as access to funding, global markets, and the ability to scale. For women in tech, there are additional needs, such as extra access to networks and mentors, confidence building in frontiers fields like AI, robotics, biotech, and green technologies, and work environments that enable the balance between both ambition and life. Yet women also bring unique contributions. They design with empathy, embedding ethics and humanity into technology. They build inclusive teams, bringing diverse perspectives that make innovation stronger. And they link technology with purpose, applying it to areas including health, sustainability, and education. This is why women's leadership in tech is not optional, it is essential. The UAE's vision is clear: to be at the forefront of technology that is inclusive by design and improves people's life. The government role is to open doors, remove barriers, and scale confidence. We will keep doing three things. First, signal parity through national initiatives like the UAE Gender Balance Strategy. Second, scale pathways through platforms like Future 100 with targeted outreach to women founders. and back skills by closing the gender gap in emerging technologies with practical training, mentorship, and applied projects. Your Highness, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the UAE believes that an inclusive future is a stronger future. And when women are at the heart of technology, every innovation carries balance, ambition, and humanity. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Our first panel sets the stage for today's conversations titled Longevity for Women and Supporting Technologies. This session explores how innovation and science are redefining health and well-being for women across generations. The upcoming panel will be conducted bilingually in Arabic and English. For your convenience, we have provided translation headsets. Please join me in welcoming our panelists. Our moderator, Dr. Noura Shamsi, member of the UAE Youth Council for Entrepreneurship. Dr. Maryam Matar, founder and president of the Emirates Genetic Disease Association. Lujain Amran, broadcaster and advocate for women's mental health and empowerment. And Dr. Fatma Saleh, medical doctor and researcher in holistic medicine.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, Your Highness, Your Excellencies, and everyone. Welcome to the first panel of Women in Technology. Today, we are discussing a topic that touches every stage of a woman's life. Mental longevity. As women live longer and lead more and actually balance many roles today, protecting long-term mental health has become something very important and we need a focus on. I'm delighted to be joined by 3 inspiring speakers who will share their insights today. Dr. Maryam Matar, founder and president of Emirates Genetic Disease Association.
مرحبا صباح الورد والسرور شيخة. I love you so much. You're so elegant. And every time I choose my color for the coming season from your abayas. Apart from the smart brain, Doctor, Your Highness, I love, my nightmare is my wrinkles. So, and I love everything pretty and beautiful. Again, thank you very much for inviting me here. My dear sister Ahoud, allow me to call you Ahoud. We've been through a long journey together. I learn a lot from you, and I always feel so proud to see what you've done to our country. So thank you very much for your contribution to our small country. And I would like to apologize from everyone. 2 days ago, I did implant for my one of my teeth here in the lower. Maybe you see it is swollen more than the right side. So allow me if there was any error in articulation between my tongue and my teeth. Thank you very much. Okay. So please, your question, my dear Dr.
Hi, Dr. Maryam. Maryam, starting with the first question, how can new health technologies help women better understand their own bodies and mental well-being?
Again, thank you very much for inviting me here. Allow me to share with the audience something which is so dear to my heart, and I applied it on myself. I love anything in new technology, and as I mentioned, my nightmare is my wrinkles. So it goes back, Your Highness, to 2011 when I discovered Planet Japan. I was going there to do my post-graduation in genetics. And I was overwhelmed to see my professor Yamashiro when I am there at 7 o'clock in the clinic. He already done with his chores of exercise, going on the top of the mountain in Yamaguchi, coming and attending the clinic even before all of us. And in the same way, Your Highness, we had Professor Yamamoto. His wife, she passed away, so we need to go and show our condolences to them. So when we went, they were crying like, no, يعني, as she's a baby. And I told them, sorry for that. How old she was? She said, she was so young, Miriam. She was only 85 years old. I said, okay. I think it was a sliding door for me, Your Highness. I changed the whole path, and I went to something called regenerative medicine. In 1st of September, I celebrated my 50th year. So I was 50 years old on the 1st of September. My biological age of my ovary is 28. My biological age of my kidney, my liver, my heart is 16. And again, it's not what I feel, it's technology. It's evidence-based. It's a real science where you can measure the biological age of your cells. So allow me to share with you, to tell you what was the impact of such thing on a woman like me. And when it's come to science, Your Highness, we go back to biology. As you know, we carry 2 X chromosomes, and poor guys, they carry only 1. And they get it from their dear mother. So again, I always remind our gentleman brothers here who's attending and listening to us, if you have a smart boy within the family, he's doing well in education, doing well with his social smartness, please make sure if you go back home today to give her a flower, because that goes back 99.9% to your smart, pretty woman, mother who's at home. So when Her Highness was talking about all the ecological evidence base, as you know, all the function, Dr. Noura, for the brain is located on the X chromosome. So for us, when we talk about mental health, primarily we are talking about something biologically we are stronger than our male gentlemen. And as you know, there is huge differences between male and gentleman. There is male mosquito, male donkey, male monkey, and male flies as well. But there is a real gentleman. In our lovely country, we are overwhelmed with a leader who is a real gentleman. And again, when I discuss this question, I'll give you some example from my own experience. It goes back, Your Highness, when I had the privilege to be the first woman in Dubai government as a Director General in Dubai. I had the privilege to meet and be in close contact with His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, Allah yahfadha wa yatawil fi umrah. I do remember, Your Highness, again, that goes back to the X chromosome, which His Highness got it from Sheikh Latifa, Allah yarhamha wa yuhsin ilayha. So once, every Tuesday, Your Highness, we will have lunch with His Highness in Za'bil Palace. And one time, unfortunately, I was not able to make it on time because I had to finish some task at office. I told Khalifa, His Excellency Khalifa of Protocol, Khalifa, I will not be able to attend. I'll come. He said, Maryam, ta'ali, Doctora. Your Highness, every time when I used to go, my dear brothers, they are there in the majlis. And that day, when His Highness was before me, can you imagine? Only for him seeing me entering the majlis, he stood for me. And this was never happened between my colleagues. Not that because they are not good, but you can see that itself, the X chromosome. And even I ran. I said, La طويل عمري. He told me, Maryam, inti hurma. You can imagine a leader who respects women by only entering, stand for her. You can imagine what support he will give for her when she will be in any position, when she needs any support. So going back to technology, as per the Longevity Institute report in 2019, before COVID, it shows, Your Excellency, that the woman contribution to biotech in longevity, if it was not COVID, it will be even more the economy than China. I will share that report with you. And 27% of contribution financially to biotech companies worldwide from 2000 till 2019, 27% was from a female startup. So you can imagine when we talk about longevity. And finally, I would like to conclude with another biological fact. It shows per all the retrospectively analyzed report that whoever, any female was born in 2021, inshallah عقب عمر طويل, she will live till the age of 97 years old if she will take care of herself. And as you know, we are not extending your life. We are making sure to extend your healthy life, to live your destiny as it is written by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in good health till last minute. Thank you.
Thank you. Truly, we are very lucky for such a leadership. Would like to thank you, Your Highness, for supporting. Moving on to the second question, which I guess it's a very important question. Do our genes affect the way women experience stress or mental health challenges?
شكلك بسوي لي مشاكل يا ريايل والله. Again, by default, and I take full responsibility of what I'm sharing today. By default, we as a female, we are smarter, we are more forecasting, as Her Highness said as well. We have the ability for analysis and for 360 diversity, lateralizing our thought, 99.9% more than the guys. I take full responsibility if I'm telling, and I have a proof biologically. Number two, we as a female, again, we have two X chromosomes. So if one is not working, the other one will switch on. And that goes back, if you will go through any report, it shows minimum in any community, women will live 5 years more than any gentleman in that community. And that goes back to our genetics. Especially when we talk about mental health, it shows that women, especially we carry estrogen. And the estrogen hormone, it maintains our inner lining of our vessels, as well maintain our behavior control from our frontal lobe. So as a woman, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us a protective factor, so we live longer with a smarter and sharper memory. Number two, we have those two X chromosomes. If one of them is not working, the other one switch on. And again, I will refer to some statistic which shows why do the guy die earlier than the female in Far East. Number two factor was suicidal attempt. Usually the guy, if they will be in a stage where they cannot do anything else, they will give up their life. While if you go back to Korea and Japan, if you will see the male and female suicidal rate, the female will be far, far lower than that. And again, that goes back to our genetics. And the other point, the third point, which again related to the genetic, why we as a woman live a longer, healthy life, it goes back to our childbearing age. So if your last child was when you were 42 years old, you will have a chance to live longer in a healthier way than the female who her last child was on 28. So that's why now with all the strong infrastructure we have in healthcare for early detection and prevention, women can freely conceive when she is even 46. I take full responsibility of that. Because right now, with advanced technology, with a drop of blood from the mother, we can identify all those most common genetic disorder which increase the risk of the baby to be abnormal. So genetically, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us in a way that we are by default much biologically, I cannot say better, acceptable by the mother nature to live longer in the planet Earth or elsewhere.
Wow, mashallah. Very interesting. Dr. Maryam, how can we make genetic and health education easier for women to access and trust with everything online? I guess we can't trust whatever you read or you go through in the internet.
Maybe I look at it in a different way. For me, when I see all those social media messages, and people, they have confidence, they are not a physician, they are not scientists, they copy or they hear something in the social media and they will come and highlight it in their platform. I see it in a different way. I see even those people who doesn't say good information, they play a role in increasing the awareness. So the educated women, I'm not so much against them, those who say untruthful or without evidence base, but again, if we go back to United Arab Emirates and the GCC, and as Her Excellency Uhud al-Rumi just mentioned, if you see the percentage of education and compare between male and female, female are very much educated. She will not do anything by default. She will go and search, and I believe whatever was there, if it is right or wrong, it is a message for her to go and dig more and find out the right resources. And when we talk about United Arab Emirates, allow me to say as well, to share with you the profound regulation which is in healthcare. Now, anybody in United Arab Emirates, they are not allowed to provide any healthcare service unless they are licensed and they will be supervised. So my only advice to whoever goes and listen to something interesting in social media, go to the nearest primary healthcare. Even if the doctor, she doesn't know the information, she will make sure to give you the right information, or she will refer you to somewhere else. And the second point, which I would like to highlight when it's come to unrealistic, so commercialized information in the social media, if something is there, people are promoting as NAD, resveratrol, please bear in mind, again, there is a huge difference between ethnicities. And during COVID, it was a life experience and research, Dr. Neda, where they were able to identify the same virus will act and respond differently from each ethnicities. So if we talk about, I heard many ladies in our community, they start on ashwagandha. Can you imagine, if you listen to any doctor on YouTube telling you go to ashwagandha, it will calm you down, it will help you to sleep. Ashwagandha, if somebody from the ethnicity from Middle East and Africa, a little bit from Iran and Pakistan, if she will take it and she is in a childbearing age, which means that still she has her period, her ovary will be dry up. She will go to menopause earlier than her sister and her mother. That's why we have to bear in mind, there is no one size to everyone, especially when it comes to longevity. And when we talk about longevity, you can see there is too many commercial organizations in United Arab Emirates, elsewhere, but again, they have some core of evidence and fact, but again, ask 3 questions if you are going to receive any service related to longevity. Is this medication or intervention was research on somebody on my ethnicity? If the percentage is less than 15, don't do it. Is this product was applied in such way to know the difference between male and female? Third one, is this product was sponsored by a pharma company or a startup? These 3 questions will help a lot any woman. And when it's come to these products, allow me, Dr. Noura, to share with the audience, my only request to every female who is listening to me today, I take full responsibility. If you are on any supplement for longevity, kindly stop it during your period. During your menstruation, you should take nothing else than what was prescribed by your physician for treating a biological error within your body. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mariam. I truly agree to that. I don't think us women should take supplements only from an online ad or just reading in the internet about it. We actually need to research and go to a professional doctor in that field and actually doing the right tests and making sure that we really need it. Thank you, doctor. Moving on to a completely different field with Lujain Umran, a TV presenter and a very famous influencer. هلا بك لوجين.
أهلاً، صباح الخير.
أهلاً. لوجين، بصفتك من أبرز الأصوات الإعلامية في المنطقة، كيف ترين التغير في نظرة المجتمع وحديثه عن الصحة النفسية للمرأة خلال السنوات الأخيرة؟
أول شيء يسعد صباح الجميع. شكرا للشيخ أبو دور أنه أعطتني هذه الشرف أني أكون موجودة معاكم اليوم لنضوي على موضوع مهم جدا وهي الصحة النفسية. قد يكون الوعي موجود على الصحة الجسدية بشكل عام، ولكن مؤخرا صار في وعي أكثر على هذا التابو اللي كان شبه محرم أو عيب أو مخجل أو يعتبر وصمة عار عند مفهوم البعض أنه الصحة النفسية أو الصحة العقلية. مش أي أحد كان يقدر يتكلم عليها بالسابق، ولكن الحمد لله رب العالمين أنه صار في وعي كافي اليوم عند السيدات بشكل خاص والمجتمع بشكل عام. إحنا نقدر نتكلم عن أهمية الصحة النفسية، لأنه المجتمع عشان يكون نخلق فيه توازن لابد أنه يكون التوازن يبدأ من المنزل. طيب مين اللي يربي أكثر شيء؟ مين اللي يكون دائما مع الأولاد وحاضر مع الأولاد؟ هي المرأة. إذا رجعنا شوي للخلف والصحة النفسية والعقلية عند المرأة وإذا كان فيها خلل، للأسف الشديد لابد أول شيء نعترف أنه إحنا مجتمعنا ومن داخل بيت وتربيتنا اللي حملتنا عبء كثير فوق ما نتحمل. يعني دائما إحنا نزرع بداخلنا أنه المرأة لما بكرة أو البنت لما تتزوج بكرة لازم تكون مرأة عاملة ناجحة، لازم تكون أم مثالية، زوجة رائعة، لازم تكون جميلة في كل حالاتها ومهتمة بنفسها. طيب كل هذه الأمور هي عبء على المرأة، لكن إحنا ربينا إنه هذا لا طبيعي، إنه لازم تتحملين، لازم تواجهين، هذا جزء طبيعي من تكوين المرأة. ولكن ما هو أيضا موجود مفروض أن عند الرجل أيضا يتحمل عبء. طيب الموضوع أنه إحنا يكون عندنا أمور نفسية ما نقدر نتكلم عنها أو ما نقدر نواجهها اليوم مع السوشيال ميديا خلق حراك وعرية إنه إحنا نتكلم، أصبح جسر إنه إحنا ما بين، خلينا إذا وصفناه بشكل صحيح، ما بين الصمت وما بين الصوت. ما كان في صوت سابق وكان في صمت قاتل عند السيدات وكان في معاناة كبيرة. أنا أشوف اليوم من وجهة نظري اليوم السوشيال ميديا خلقت هذا الحراك وخلت الوحدة ممكن تتكلم. إحنا اليوم كمؤثرين إن صح التعبير نتكلم عن أمور قد تكون نوعا ما شخصية ولكنها مؤثرة، لأنه في كثير اليوم فتيات أو سيدات يعانون من اكتئاب وهم ما يعرفون إلا لما يتكلموا، إلا لما يعلى صوتهم. دائما على بالهم أن يعانون لوحدهم، أو هذا إذا عرفوا أساسا أنهم يعانون من الأساس. فلذلك اليوم صار الحمد لله رب العالمين في وعي، إن كان من الحكومات، إن كان من المؤسسات الخاصة، إن كان من الأفراد، إن كان بهذا الحراك اللي موجود اليوم بالسوشيال ميديا والتطبيع، إنه نعم نقدر نتكلم. إحنا اليوم مش لوحدنا.
شكرا جزيلا. لجين، برأيك كيف يمكن للتكنولوجيا أن تسهم في نقل قصص أكثر صدقاً وواقعية عن تجارب النساء، سواء في التحديات أو النجاحات المرتبطة بالصحة النفسية؟
التكنولوجيا مثل ما نعرف أن هي انوجدت لخدمة البشرية ولفائدتها، ولكن في ناس يشوفون أن هي مجرد entertainment أو مضيعة وقت مع الأسف. ولكن دائما لها جانبين، جانب مشرق وجانب مظلم. إذا ركزنا على الجانب المشرق من التكنولوجيا وكيف أن هي فعلا قادرة أن هي تخلق جسر للتواصل، وكمان نعرف أنه التكنولوجيا لها مثل ما قلنا جانبين، جانب أو مثل نقول سلاح ذو حدين. لذلك السوشيال ميديا اليوم خلينا نقول إن هي كثير مأثرة على الناس، للأسف يشوفوها نافذة، إما إنه إحنا نقارن ما بيننا وما بين حياة الآخرين، ننجرف خلف مغريات. البعض تاخذهم للمقارنات، إنه يشوف حياته مش سعيدة، حياته مش مبسوطة، حياته فلانة وحياة فلانة. يا ليت إنه نافذة السوشيال ميديا والتكنولوجيا تكون للتحفيز، للمقارنة، عشان نطور من حياتنا للأفضل، عشان نطور من نفسنا، نطور من أمور كثيرة من الأمور العادية، أو ما نبغى نقول الطبيعية، ولكن من الأمور العادية إلى الأمور إنه تدفعنا للنجاح، تدفعنا للتطوير، تدفعنا لتثقيف حالنا، تدفعنا للتوعية، مش للمقارنات اللي قد تحبطنا بعض الأحيان، مش لمتابعة بعض المواقع اللي تضيع وقتنا أو تهدر طاقتنا في غير محلها. ولذلك أنا مع أن التكنولوجيا ممكن تكون في خدمتنا إذا قدرنا نستخدمها بشكل صحيح.
نعم، شكرا للإضافة لجين. لجين، هل ترين أن التطبيقات الرقمية المخصصة لدعم الصحة النفسية إلى جانب الحملات الإلكترونية قادرة فعلا على إحداث فرق في كسر الوصمة الاجتماعية المرتبطة بهذا الموضوع؟
أكيد 100%. يعني اليوم نشوف حملات كثيرة موجودة في أكثر من دولة. إذا على سبيل المثال أخذنا تجربة زيمبابوي، عملوا تجربة كثير حلوة اسمها فريندشيب بانش. كرسي في مكان عام وأمهات متطوعات، أكيد أنه راح يكون عندهم خبرة وعندهم أسلوب. أنا امرأة عامة جالسة أتمشى، عندي ضيقة، مختنقة، عندي ظروف زعجتني، بس ما أقدر أتكلم لشخص قريب، لأنه بعض الأحيان حتى الشخص القريب قد نحن ناخذ حذر منه ونحاول نحط حدود. نحتاج شخص غريب لنتكلم معاه، لنفضفض معاه. هذه التجربة اللي انعملت في زيمبابوي في أماكن عامة، بتلاقي كرسي في مكان عام، راح تلاقي فالنتير تجلس تسمع لك. على الأقل بعض الأحيان ليش نلاقي معظم الدول الأجنبية يقول لك لازم يكون عندك محامي، طبيب نفسي وطبيب أسنان. هذا كل واحد فينا، لأنه الطبيب النفسي اللي تدفع له أنت مقابل الساعة ممكن ما يعالجك بس يسمع لك. موضوع أنك أنت تفضفض هذا شيء مريح. فلذلك عملوا هذه التجربة وكانت ناجحة بشكل كبير. أنا بالنسبة لي لفتت انتباهي، لأنه ممكن أتكلم مع واحدة لا تعرفني ولا أعرفها، مجرد أني أفضفض ومجرد أنها تسمع لي، هذا بحد ذاته قد يكون جزء من العلاج. فاليوم في تجارب كثيرة أيضا بالنسبة للمستشارين اللي قد يكون أول شيء في سرية تامة، بخصوصية كبيرة، ما راح يعرف مين أنا، ما راح يشوف وجهي، ويا حبذا يكون امرأة للمرأة إن هي اللي تسمعها. فمثل هذه التجارب على بعض المواقع أو المنصات، إني أنا ممكن أشتكي أو ممكن إني أنا أحس نفسي مش لوحدي وفي أحد قادر إنه يسمعني، قادر إنه يحتويني، أعتقد أن هذا حيشكل فرق كبير.
لجين، من وجهة نظرك ما الدور الذي يجب أن يلعبه الإعلام في توعية النساء وتوجيههن نحو أدوات وموارد موثوقة وآمنة تعزز صحتهن النفسية؟
أول شيء أنه لازم نفرق ما بين الشخص اللي أقدر أسمع له والشخص اللي مجرد أنه هو يحاول يفتي في غير مكانه وفي غير تخصصه ويتكلم. اليوم الكل صار عنده بودكاست، الكل صار عنده برنامج، الكل صار يتكلم، الكل صار ينظر. ولذلك أنا اليوم لازم أستقي المعلومة من مصدرها الصحيح الموثوق المضمون، أعرف لوين أروح، لمين ألجأ تحديداً، لمين أعطي إذني وسمعي وفعلاً أقدر أتأثر، ليكون الانعكاس بشكل إيجابي وبالطريقة اللي أنا أحتاجها. ولذلك دائماً أقول إحنا يا هل ترى نتابع مين اليوم على السوشيال ميديا؟ في ناس تحبطني متابعتهم، أو ممكن تستفزني أو ممكن تخنقني، وفي ناس متابعتهم بالعكس تفتح لي نوافذ أمل. أحس أنه أنا فعلا قادرة أني أنا أعمل شيء أفضل، قادرة أنه أعيش حياة أفضل، قادرة أني أطور من نفسي. ولذلك كل هذه الأمور أنا بالنسبة لي أعتبرها مهمة. ما أحب أتفلسف كثير، ولكن التجارب الشخصية لاحظتها لها تأثير غريب عجيب كبير. إذا نظرنا للموضوع النفسي، وأنا راح أشارك اليوم شبه تجربة شخصية. لما كنت متزوجة من أبو أولادي الله يرحمه، كان في عبء نفسي كثير من حماتي، اللي أول مرة يمكن أتكلم عن هذا الموضوع. إحنا نعرف دائما المسلسلات العربية كيف راسم صورة معينة عن الحما. اكتشفت وأنا كان عمري 16 سنة، الكلام اللي كنت أسمعه دائما، وهذا كان يسبب لي عبء وتعب نفسي، وكنت أشوفه في البداية عادي، بس بعدين اكتشفت أنه هو عبء أنا مش مضطرة أتحمله. زوجك إذا ما راح الدوام هذه مشكلتك وهذا مسؤوليتك، إذا ما أكل مسؤوليتك، إذا ما لبس بشكل منظم مسؤوليتك، إذا كل شيء خطأ يعمله الزوج هي مسؤوليتي. طيب وين مسؤوليته هو من نفسه اتجاه نفسه؟ ليش دائما هذا العبء على عاتق المرأة؟ لازم كل شيء مسؤوليتها هي. لمتى هي راح تضطر أنها تتحمل أعباء كثيرة هي مش مضطرة تتحملها؟ أيضا الزوج عليه حمل، عليه عبء، عليه مسؤولية. لو قسمنا هذه المسؤوليات بشكل صحيح، بشكل متوازن، بشكل fair enough، إنه ما بين يكون الزوج والزوجة، لكانت الحياة الأسرية أفضل، لكان الناتج أفضل، بلا ما إحنا نحمل كل شيء على الزوجة. وأيضا البنت منو هي في بيت أهلها تربت إنه بكرة لما تروحين زوجك طاوعي زوجك، لا تخالفيه، أي شيء يطلب أسويه. الرفض ممنوع، المناقشة ممنوعة. كل هذه الأمور من الزمانات، والحمد لله أنها بدأت تتغير. كانت تتحمل الفتاة من قبل الزواج بعبع خوف المسؤولية، ولذلك كانت تترتب على هذه الأمور أنه يكون عندها المسؤولية الزايدة أو اللي تكون في غير محلها، راح تحملها عبء وتعب نفسي وتعب عقلي، وإذا اشتكت فهو غير مسموح لها بالشكوى وعيب، وما بيصير موروثات اجتماعية، الخوف من الانتقاد الاجتماعي، الخوف من انتقاد الأهل، أقرب الناس اللي هم المفروض يكونوا سبورت لهذه البنت أو لهذه الأم أو هذه الزوجة. فلذلك في أمور كثيرة الحمد لله رب العالمين، نشكر رب العالمين إن أول شيء ربي منحنا حكومات عندها وعي، عندها انفتاح، قاعدة تدعمنا. إحنا أيضاً صار عندنا وعي كافي لنعرف نسمع لمين وما نسمع لمين، نتابع مين وما نتابع مين، إيش اللي فعلاً حقيقي هذا مسؤوليتنا وقع على عاتقنا، وإيش اللي هي مجرد أمور يعني ورثناها وتربينا عليها ولكن هي في النهاية غير صحيحة.
شكراً لجين على هذه الإجابات الملهمة. Moving back to the medical field, Dr. Fatma Saleh, a medical doctor and a holistic medicine researcher. Dr. Fatma, some new technologies claim to strengthen family bonds and even support family happiness. In your opinion, can technology really make relationships healthier?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Good morning, everybody. And I don't know after Ustad Al-Jain how I will speak in English because we enjoyed her talk in Arabic. My name is Dr. Fatma Saleh. I am a medical graduate from Arabian Gulf University, Bahrain. Then I specialized in holistic lactation. Then I specialized in biophoton therapy. So you asked me how the technology can help in strengthening family bond. So as we know, health is not only physical, it's emotional and physical. The healthier the parents, of course, will lead to healthy marital relationship, and it will lead to healthy parenthood. And there are many technologies in UAE helping the parents to reach their optimal health, alhamdulillah. With a second only a button, they can seek medical services in UAE.
Dr. Fatma, diving deeper into your specialty, advanced technologies like you mentioned, Biothon, Metatron, BioWell, and modern lab tests are giving people deeper insights into their health in general. Tell us more about it, and how can these tools help women make better lifestyle choices?
As Dr. Mariam Motar said, that if we want to go for technology or any health information, it has to be through certified and trusted people. And alhamdulillah, Metatron is an ISO certified screen and method, and it's non-invasive. And it's available even in public health in Dubai. And it helps in screening the whole body in one session. And it gives the patient an idea about the function of his organs, the whole organs, okay? And its regenerative abilities. And also the machine can suggest to the patient and the health practitioner where to go or what to investigate. For example, some result will lead to referring to more genetic testing or histopathologic, hematologic testing. And also it suggests what kind of holistic remedies or pharmaceutical remedies is suitable for that patient himself. Regarding biophoton, I took my photon physiology therapy certification from Germany, from MIBA, Health Angel Academy. As Dr. Maria, I'm sure she knows that every living cell emits ultra-weak light that cannot be seen with eyes, and there are technology to assess it. So even plants, they emit that. animals and humans. As a human, if we want to apply it, we know through science that every organ will emit its unique biophoton. And if we assist the biophoton coming, for example, from the heart or from the stomach, we can know how is the health condition of that organ. And then we can help the body to improve the biophoton status. And biophoton is an information. And if the body lives in good health information, it will optimize the cell function and cell regeneration and healing function.
Thank you, Dr. Mariam. Thank you, Lujain and Dr. Mariam, for inspiring insights. Thank you, Dr. Fatma, again. On behalf of Women in Technology, I would like to thank our panelists and all of you for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you to our panelists. Our second panel, The Rise of the Conscious Consumer, where ethics, innovation, and influence meet, highlights how women are leading the shift toward ethical consumption and sustainable innovation. Please welcome to the stage our moderator, Jum'a Al-Haj, Director of Strategic Communications and Marketing at Spark, Jessica Hamati, Head of Strategy at Right, Natasha Radestenko, founder of HealthNag, and Muna Abbasi, CEO of Izel Beauty.
How are you? Please. مرحبا أستاذ منى. إيش تفضلين؟ مرحبا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. It's a pleasure hosting everybody here today at this Women in Tech Forum. As you know, it's our 6th edition, and it's been an odyssey and a marathon to get the forum at its shape today. And we're very delighted to see that we have a full house, and we enjoyed the first session, and we hope that you'll enjoy the second session and the rest of the sessions that we have for today, and the later on CEO circles. So to start, so this is session 2, the rise of the conscious consumer. When we, as individuals, think about what technologies we need to buy or we need to invest in our time and effort in actually learning what these technologies serve, in actually learning how they can benefit us, we get bombarded by a plethora of availability in the market. So what should we focus on, and what should we invest in? And we have an esteemed panel of speakers that will help us understand what that is. To start off, Ms. Jessica, consumers today are not only looking forward to effective wellness products, but also want to support brands that align with their values. Whether it's sustainability, transparency, technological advancement, women's empowerment, or inclusivity. How does Right ensure that you're developing real health benefits while also living up to those ethical expectations?
Hi. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here and very proud to be here. So to answer your question, for us, being a wellness brand, values are the most important thing that we stand by. Because wellness isn't about the product that people are consuming, it's about the company and the company's values behind the products. So we cannot sell a product that we would not consume ourselves, and this is the most important for us. So today, we really thrive to build the most science-backed formulas to have credibility and trust. And in that sense, transparency is the most critical aspect of any business. And I believe transparency is the most critical aspect in any business, regardless of whether it's in the wellness industry or in the medicine industry or any other industry. You cannot build a business based on lies and not based on transparency. You need to work for your customer and consider them the core of your business because they are who is going to make your business thrive and succeed. So our most important value would be transparency in that sense.
And that transparency, how do you achieve it in your product within itself? For example, let's say you have a certain mixture for one of the right products. Where would that be translated to the consumer?
So we use our social media platform, and I believe this is something we're going to discuss later on, but we use our social media platform to talk to our community directly, and this is a very crucial part of our business because we really speak to our customers. We try to share the behind the scenes of our manufacturing, our formulas, our patented ingredients that we use, and we're always open to any questions, and if anyone wants to know more about our patented ingredients and our formulas, the information's on our website. Our customer service are always here to help and educate the customer at any point in time. We also work with a lot of nutritionists and doctors that help prove our point and give more science-backed formulas and education.
So what I understand is that it's also about the experience, and that kind of segues me to my question to Madame Muna, and I know you're the founder of Azil Beauty. There's a lot of online purchases that happen right now since technology is taking over the sphere. What made you decide to create a physical and immersive space like Azil Spa? And how does the experience deepen the connection between your customers and your brand? And how do they support in aiding one's wellness journey?
Assalamu alaikum, Your Highness, Your Excellency. It's an honor to be here and distinguished guests and amazing ladies and founders. So when it comes to the experiences, I believe that today the experience is the way of having different way of connecting with brands, right? So for us, for example, consumers today, they're no more interested or they're less interested in ownership, and they're more interested in how some things make them feel. Consumers today are more, I would say, eager for spaces, be it physical or digital, that actually awaken their senses. And yes, we were bold enough at Azil to open a spa in Dubai Mall, in one of the, like the busiest traffic mall in the world. And that was during COVID as well. So what we designed is an oasis of reconnection, really. And it's basically a place where women can reconnect with themselves, honor themselves. And what this does to us is basically it's strengthen the emotional link with our consumers. They don't see Azil anymore as just a product brand. They see it as a lifestyle, as a wellness brand, as a brand where they can reconnect, and that's actually part of their daily lives. And this is where I think that was the best decision ever made for Azil. And we are still, we are actually doing that across and being different as well with connecting with that kind of emotions with the consumers.
Lovely. So it's a place to deconnect and connect in a different way.
Yeah.
You can think. So that also, let's say, it segues technically into my next question, which is for Ms. Natasha. So many people feel overwhelmed with advice and experiences, especially when it combines science and natural wellness. So how do we communicate these complex ideas or ingredients, let's say, to customers in a way that feels both credible and easy to digest?
Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you for having me here. It's an honor, Your Highness, the guests, and my two amazing panelists here. By the way, I want to say that I'm a huge fan of Azil. My bathroom is filled with Azil, and all my hair products are, genuinely. I actually never met you in person. I never knew who's behind it, so it's honestly an honor. And I would love to say that I'm a huge fan of Right as well. We're actually sitting very next to each other in most supermarkets, so it's an honor as well to share this panel with you. In terms of your question, I would like to encourage everyone just to look into, first of all, read the ingredients. This is the reason why I buy Azil, is because of its natural composition. And the ingredients that I used there are very functional ingredients. So I know that they support my hair growth naturally without chemicals. So I'm, as a consumer of, let's say, Azil or Right, I would be the first to read the ingredients. I could potentially even ask them to send me some certifications. And as a consumer, you have a full right to do so. And I encourage all the transparency, exactly what Jessica mentioned. I think more brands need to be more open to communication with consumer and be able to provide anything the consumer needs to gain this trust. We are overwhelmed with a lot of, obviously, products on the market, but I feel also as a consumer, sometimes you just resonate with the brand, and when you start using it, your body is giving you feedback very fast, and I encourage everyone to trust that, especially if you're connected to your body, you will have the feedback for the certain products, and you will feel the difference, and that's what you should trust the most.
So in essence, you're turning the feedback not from the product itself, but from your own body and what your body tells you about this product, and then you will know if let's say, that product is suitable for you or not. But yeah.
Yeah, first I would definitely encourage to look at the certification, the ingredients, the science behind the particular product, and then definitely trust. If you are seeing results, like for example, why am I a customer of Azil? I just love how it supports the shine of my hair, or how it supports my hair growth, because I can see the difference. And I am a very conscious consumer, so I feel that my body does give me feedback. So I would encourage the same.
So since we mentioned social media a lot in the previous session and this session, and I think it will have a more prominent feature in our next upcoming questions, but do you think social media has a role in communicating what your ingredients or specialities are within the?
Yeah, absolutely. For us, even as a Health Snack story, it actually started as a health blog.
Mm-hmm.
So I started Health Snack in parallel with my other business, which is currently still thriving. But it started out of the desire to want to educate the community. And I was diagnosed with certain health conditions in my early 20s that was supposed to be incurable. So I dedicated my entire life, like 20 years, to research of what is actually body is trying to tell you when you are sick. Because it's not about numbing the symptoms, it's actually just hearing what your body is telling you. And I took this time to learn all of this, and by starting a Health Snack as a blog, that's why it's the name, hence the Health Nagging, I wanted to spread that health information with the community and help people heal even when they were told that certain conditions are incurable. And after successfully curing myself, I dedicated basically my mission to this, and that was on social media, and that's why Health Snack gained its popularity, and then we started to create innovative products, but we are always a health educational platform before we are anything else. On social media.
Amazing. That segues into the next question as well. So this is for you, Jessica. Online communities and social platforms can make or break a brand, like you mentioned previously. What role have they played in Right's growth, and how do you maintain authenticity online? And what kind of content or interaction seems to resonate with consumers?
Okay, so basically, as I said earlier, community, we really listen to our customers, we're very transparent with them, and our community is what brought us here today, is why we're sitting all together here. It's because we really try to communicate with our customer as much as we can, and really make them feel that they are part of our company and what we are building together. And we never hesitate to take their feedback, talk to them, and on social media in particular, I know a lot of brands have been using bots or AI to reply to customers, thinking being fast is the way to go. But for us, it's really building this communication with our customers. So we never use any AI or bots. We have dedicated customer service team, different shifts. Sometimes it might take an hour to reply, but at least you're talking to a real human, you're having real conversation. We have a hotline as well. Anyone could call, they really talk to them, and we start knowing one by one, and we know the faces and the names and the usernames of our community. So whenever we're hosting events, we also make sure not to only invite people who are gonna show us in the media or that have millions of followers, to invite our most loyal customers, because without them, we won't be able to be here today, and we won't be able to build our company and bring it so far. So it's really, community is really about really making feel that people are part of a group, part of this community, and not just saying, yes, we are a community. So it's doing something for them, making part of our story and listening to what they have to say.
I'll follow up to that question. You said that you try to minimize the use of AI or robotics, but how can they benefit you in other ways in the company besides community outreach?
They could benefit us in many different ways, especially studies, science-backed ingredients, looking at studying the results of certain ingredients. In that sense, honestly, I won't ever say I'm against AI. It's really brought so much new technology into our lives, and it's really very helpful. It cuts down on time on most of things. So yes, we use it in different aspects, but for the customer, we want to keep this human touch. We want to keep this human element. And I feel it's rare nowadays. I hear a lot of people complaining, like whenever they call certain customer service and it's a bot, you never reach a human, and then you're just angry. I want someone that understands me. So it's this feeling of like this emotional feeling that we want to build connection with the customer on.
Amazing. Madame Mona, the next question is for you. So Izil is more than just a brand. It sells products. It tells a story. How does Izil actively use its platform to advocate for women's empowerment, cultural heritage, and holistic wellness? And then what impact do you hope to have in those areas?
So when it comes to the empowerment, so I would start by the women, right? And we are today in Women in Tech. It's a women-led company. Majority of our workforce are actually women. Our products or ingredients such as argan oil is being extracted by Moroccan women in villages, giving them the chance to have a source of income, education for their families. At our spa, and I'm very proud of that and very emotional about it, is we've got some roles in Morocco, such as the spa hammam therapist, tiyaba in Moroccan, this role have been undervalued for years. And today Izil is about giving those kind of women and those women another way of seeing this profession in a way that is very valuable and within the wellness industry. It's not just one role out there for undervalued people. When it comes to the wellness, so the brand is about the wellness. That was our philosophy, our DNA from day one. We are talking rituals. We're not talking only product. We're talking rituals that make women reconnect back to their heritage, reconnect back to their traditions, and still feel modern. Don't feel that they are outdated. The fact of having our products and spa, basically we're offering wellness, be it at home or be it at our spa. The fact that we are actually natural and organic, very proud, alhamdulillah, that actually Izil is produced in the UAE, and we are the only producer in the, thank you. Our manufacturing unit is here, and we are actually the only manufacturer in the region to have the highest certification, EcoCert, organic and natural in the region. So I'm very proud to drive that in my second home, UAE. And so the fact of being natural and being organic, actually women feel that they are taking care of themselves without that guilt, that they're putting something that they don't know about for their skin or for their hair. And I'm so happy that you've been advocating.
That's me, by the way.
My brand, believe me, we've never met.
Before.
But alhamdulillah, rabbil alameen, yani this is the trust that we got from consumers, alhamdulillah. And when it comes to cultural heritage, we've been getting a lot of things from the West. And I think my vision, my vision has always been that, no, as Moroccans, as Arabs, we have a lot of richness in the region. And we are promoting it globally, and I'm glad and proud to be leading it and leading that Moroccan and Arabic beauty worldwide. Being proud of who we are and where we're coming from, because that's our base, and proving to the world that actually the innovation and real innovation can actually go from the east to the west. And that's my why.
You read my mind. I was going to ask you, don't you think that these technologies actually can help us export as opposed to import whatever products that we need to create or technologies that we need to put out there? So I think you...
For me, tradition and technology is one thing,
Yeah.
right? They are supporting each other. It's not a choice. Like even in our philosophy or DNA as the brand, we don't make the woman choose between the past and the future. She can be both. Today we can be both. And technology is there to validate our traditions. Even, and I'm gonna talk about the beauty industry, all these beauty brands, global powerhouse beauty brands, have been actually claiming and using ingredients that are coming from this part of the region. And those traditions have been time-tested. Yes, they've been time-tested by our grandmothers, our mothers. Technology is here to prove it with numbers, with data, with science. We're not recreating the wheel. Technology is here to help us maybe optimize those kind of ingredients and those kind of recipes and those kind of wellness and wisdom that have been inherited throughout generations. But the richness is here. Technology, we are using, and we should be using technology to amplify it, because the core is here, is with us.
I will quote you on that. Technology is there to validate our traditions.
Yes.
This is quite an impactful quote. So the next, thank you so much, Mona. The next question is for Ms. Natasha. With so much information and health-related technologies out there, it's easy to go wrong, right? In your experience, what's one most common misconception or mistake, or let's say women in this sphere, make about their wellness journey, and how can they avoid?
This is an excellent question, and I do feel that we need to re-educate ourselves to a degree, and I would love to see UAE leading that. As we just discussed, that a lot of products, innovations currently, as of today, coming mostly to us from USA or from Europe, right? And I would love to see the other way around. I would love UAE to produce more unicorns, more innovations in healthcare, in longevity, and so we can put UAE more on the global map for wellness and this. And common misconception is, I feel like we need to educate our community first in what we consider normal today may not actually benefit our health and not benefit our longevity. Because, let's say, as an example, right? Again, why am I doing what I do? Is because I was diagnosed with certain things that are supposed to be incurable. But then I found the way, what my body was trying to tell me, and now I live in it, like my health now, in my 40s, much better than it was in my 20s, because I re-educated myself. I evolved what I thought was normal, like starting a day with a cup of coffee. And I know a lot of people, I'm a nag at the end of the day, so I'm allowed to nag you guys, but starting, let's say, coffee with croissant is not the best thing that you can do for yourself. And we need to really look at it like rationally, right? What does your body need today to start the day strong? First of all, you need to get hydrated, so get hydration in with electrolytes or some Celtic salt. Don't jump into the coffee. You know, what do you need the most? Especially as a woman, for hormonal balance, you need fats. You need healthy fats, and you need amino acids, which is protein. So we already kind of like, what we are doing wrong is how we start our day. You know, it's we need hydration. We need certain nutrients for our body, for our immune system to work at its best. And this is just one little tip, and I can go on. Like, we are not living 100% right as of today, and having a certain diet, eating late, maybe eating deep fried, which is quite carcinogenic, it's something that we need to just look into and just redefine what is normal. Mm-hmm. This is how I would say, and I'd love UAE to be a leader in this, so set up maybe more educational kind of like those events for schools, so maybe it needs to be taught in school, because we were not taught in school. We thought like having a cup of coffee and, I don't know, a sugary cake with 2 tablespoons of sugar in your tea as well, which is normal. This is how I grew up. This is why I had my health issues in my 20s, because it was all self-inflicted. And if we help to redefine our community to our new generation and help them to understand what their body needs for optimum nutrition, we can avoid so many health issues in the future. It will be much easier for them than rewiring a brain which is already fully established after 20s and 30s. And we can also support longevity, and we can lead by example to the rest of the world that this is how in UAE is, and we encourage you to do the same elsewhere.
So the three of you are female leaders in the health and wellness sphere. I have a general question for the three of you, so you guys can choose who's going to answer first. But if someone's just starting out in this sphere, maybe trying to be healthier, be more mindful, be more aligned with their values, what's one practical, transformative piece of advice that you'd give that could really help them stay consistent? And we'll end our panel with this question.
Make it simple. Don't complicate things. I think we're just overcomplicating things. I think life is much simpler than that. Just see what your grandmother and mother did and just do it. And yes, there is technology nowadays. Just make it simple.
For me, it would be listening to your body. And we really need to listen to our bodies. I suffer from 2 autoimmune diseases, which, as Natasha was saying, are most probably self-conflicted because of the stress and the type of food that we were eating. And it's taken me years to reach the point where I feel comfortable enough with my body. Years, doctors were telling me, doing all the tests, Jess, there's nothing wrong with you. But I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't focus. At once, I couldn't hold a spoon or a teacup. My hands, my nerves were not moving, and it was only inflammation stored in my body. So trust your gut and listen to yourself. Read, educate yourself. What you see online is mostly not true, and do what works for your body. Some people would tell you, so for my case, in that sense, our doctors would say, go on antidepressant, you have high-functioning depression. I refuse to put that in my body, and this is a personal choice. I heal myself with food, and I add on it with supplements. So this is what I always say, listen to your body, and do what's best for you.
And Natasha?
For me, I would definitely make it a little bit tiny more structured, in the sense like your body is a machine. Look at it as a biological machine. It has needs. And to a degree, you need to sometimes prioritize what this machine, biological machine, needs as a fuel, and not just prioritize simply pleasures. So if I am to want to have a cheat day, for example, which is fine, but first you ask your question, did your biological machine today receive the fuel to work for you 24/7 and protect your health, protect you from all the health issues, protect you from viruses? Did it receive what it needs? If the answer is no, then you cannot expect this machine to work properly. So I just would like to have encourage everyone to take a rational look at your lifestyle, and support definitely a healthier sleep, some type of movement, right nutrients, because on my opinion, you can avoid almost 70% of health issues if you actually replenish certain deficiencies. And very often, a certain health issue is linked to a certain deficiency. When you tell me your, for example, symptoms, I can already tell you what potentially can be the reason. And I can probably heal this particular health issue for you in just 2 months by replenishing this. So I'd love just more education around that. I'd love to see more. And it starts with you. So obviously there are doctors, there are institutions, but at the end of the day, you are the only one who knows yourself better. So listen to your body, do your own research, and always there will be people who can help you in the journey. But definitely look into the nutrition, look at the sleep. It's very important. This is where even cancer fighting T cells are produced exactly in your sleep. So if you are compromised there, you have a high risk. It's very important not to hope for the best, but rather do a preventative measures. Preventative medicine is much more effective, cheaper, and easier than reactive medicine.
Well, I hope that this advice does not just apply for women, for gentlemen as well, because we all want to live longer to be in the company of our lovely female counterparts. So thank you very much, ladies, and your companies are truly leaders in the industry. And thank you for inspiring the discussions. And we really respect you being. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Thank you for
everyone.
having
Thank you.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you to our panelists. Before proceeding to the award ceremony, I'm proud to share that this year, Spark is joining hands with the Big Heart Foundation to support women's healthcare projects. A QR code has been placed on the screen. Please take a moment to scan it and discover how this campaign is helping change lives through women's healthcare projects. It's a cause close to all of us, ensuring women have access to the care they need, from early detection to vital treatments, so they can live healthier and stronger lives. Together, we can make a difference that lasts for generations. Before we move to our break, we would like to invite Her Highness Sheikh Abdur bin Sultan Al Qasimi and His Excellency Hussein Al Mahmoudi to the stage for the thank you trophies to our speakers and partners. Her Excellency Uhud Al Rumi. For our partners, Sharjah Businesswomen Council, represented by Sheikha Hind Al Qasimi. Shuruq, represented by His Excellency Ahmed Al Qasir. Shira', represented by Her Excellency Sara Naimi. The Big Heart Foundation, represented by Ali Al Musabi. Hind Al Oud, represented by Mohammed Hilal. Right, represented by Jessica Hamati. Izel Beauty, represented by Mona Abbasi. Health Nag, represented by Natasha Radostenko. The Youth Council. World stage represented by Bitu Pradeep. And character. For speakers, دكتورة مريم مطر. لجين عمران. Her Excellency Lucy Berger. دكتورة نورة الشامسي. دكتورة فاطمة صالح. ياسمين الأميري. مونيكا سلوانسكا. أندريا برازاكوفا. دكتور إيلي أبي رشاد. Dr. Won. آية عيسى. Victoria DeHont. Nadine Karadag. إيمان أحمد. And last but not least, فاطمة أحمد المساوي. ياسمين الأميري. Thank you, Your Highness. Thank you, Your Excellency. Let's give a final round of applause for all our partners and speakers for their outstanding support. We will now take a 15-minute short break. Please take the time to refresh and network. We look forward to welcoming you back for our next panel discussion. Thank you.
Dear older me, you are courage.
لديك العلم والمعرفة والدافع لتحقيق أهدافك.
To pioneer, to lead, to make a difference. You know, it won't always be easy to get it. But you're here. And you've got us.
So go ahead and take that next step.
قد تحتاجين فريق بأكمله، فمعاً سنصل. معاً نحو التطور، معاً نحو الازدهار. فلنعمل معاً على الإلهام والتحفيز والتمكين بهدف تحقيق الاحتواء الشامل للمرأة في الاقتصاد.
Start your journey today.
Because every day starts the same way. Certain details escape us until we actually notice them. And that often happens when it is least expected. Discovery consists of seeing what everybody has seen and thinking what nobody has thought. An idea never really chooses its moment. An idea, where does it come from anyway? An idea always comes unexpectedly. Usually when we're busy doing something else. An idea simply requires paying attention, catching, noticing what barely moves, feeling. An idea sometimes starts with just a detail. An idea always grows richer when we share it. An idea is already there. You just have to know how to look. An idea often begins with a simple what if. An idea isn't just dreaming. It's perceiving what was already there. An idea. That's precisely Sharjah Research Technology and Innovation Park. Inspiring the inspired.
الجمال الحقيقي عمره ما كان خياراً بين حكمة الماضي وتطور العلم، بل هو الجسر الذي يربط بينهما بتناغم. من قلب طقوس نساء المغرب اللواتي آمن أن في الأرض شفاء، زيت الأرجان، الغسول، حمام المغربي، أسرار ما عبرت بل تجدرت لتصبح تقاليد خالدة توارثناها واحتضناها، واليوم نحول تراثها إلى تركيبة نحييها بلغة العلم، نثبتها بنتائج ملموسة ونجسدها بنقاء وحس. ليس مجرد منتج بل وعد بعناية صادقة والعودة إلى ما هو أصيل حقيقي فعال ومنذ البداية لك. نحن إزيل، النقاء المغربي جمال مثبت.
Dear older me, your courage.
لديك العلم والمعرفة والدافع لتحقيق أهدافك.
To pioneer, to lead, to make a difference. You know, it won't always be easy to get it. But you're here.
And you've got us. So go ahead and take that next step.
قد تحتاجين فريق بأكمله، فمعاً سنصل. معاً نحن التطور، معاً نحو الازدهار. فلنعمل معاً على الإلهام والتحفيز والتمكين بهدف تحقيق الاحتواء الشامل للمرأة في الاقتصاد.
Start your journey today.
Because every day starts the same way. Certain details escape us until we actually notice them. And that often happens when it is least expected. Discovery consists of seeing what everybody has seen and thinking what nobody has thought. An idea never really chooses its moment. An idea, where does it come from anyway? An idea always comes unexpectedly. Usually when we're busy doing something else. An idea simply requires paying attention, catching, noticing what barely moves, feeling. An idea sometimes starts with just a detail. An idea always grows richer when we share it. An idea is already there. You just have to know how to look. An idea often begins with a simple what if. An idea isn't just dreaming. It's perceiving what was already there. An idea. That's precisely Sharjah Research Technology and Innovation Park. Inspiring the inspired.
الجمال الحقيقي عمره ما كان خياراً بين حكمة الماضي وتطور العلم، بل هو الجسر الذي يربط بينهما بتناغم. من قلب طقوس نساء المغرب اللواتي آمن أن في الأرض شفاء، زيت الأرجان، الغسول، حمام المغربي، أسرار ما عبرت بل تجدرت لتصبح تقاليد خالدة توارثناها واحتضناها، واليوم نحول تراثها إلى تركيبة نحييها بلغة العلم، نثبتها بنتائج ملموسة ونجسدها بنقاء وحس. ليس مجرد منتج بل وعد بعناية صادقة والعودة إلى ما هو أصيل حقيقي، فعال، ومنذ البداية لك. نحن إزيل، النقاء المغربي جمال مدمج.
Dear older me, you are correct.
لديك العلم والمعرفة والدافع لتحقيق أهدافك.
To pioneer, to lead, to make a difference. You know, it won't always be easy to get it. But you're here.
And you've got us. So go ahead and take that next step.
قد تحتاجين فريق بأكمله، فمعاً سنصل. معاً نحن التطور، معاً نحو الازدهار. فلنعمل معاً على الإلهام والتحفيز والتمكين بهدف تحقيق الاحتواء الشامل للمرأة في الاقتصاد.
Start your journey today.
Because every day starts the same way. Certain details escape us until we actually notice them. And that often happens when it is least expected. Discovery consists of seeing what everybody has seen and thinking what nobody has thought. An idea never really chooses its moment. An idea, where does it come from anyway? An idea always comes unexpectedly. Usually when we're busy doing something else. An idea simply requires paying attention, catching, noticing what barely moves, feeling. An idea sometimes starts with just a detail. An idea always grows richer when we share it. An idea is already there. You just have to know how to look. An idea often begins with a simple what if. An idea isn't just dreaming. It's perceiving what was already there. An idea. That's precisely Sharjah Research Technology and Innovation Park. Inspiring the inspired.
الجمال الحقيقي عمره ما كان خياراً بين حكمة الماضي وتطور العلم، بل هو الجسر الذي يربط بينهما بتناغم. من قلب طقوس نساء المغرب اللواتي آمن أن في الأرض شفاء: زيت الأرغان، الخاسول، حمام المغربي، أسرار ما عبرت بل تجذرت لتصبح تقاليد خالدة توارثناها واحتضناها، واليوم نحول تراثها إلى تركيبة نحييها بلغة العلم، نثبتها بنتائج ملموسة ونجسدها بنقاء يحس. ليس مجرد منتج بل وعد بعناية صادقة والعودة إلى ما هو أصيل، حقيقي، فعال، ومنذ البداية لك. نحن إزيل، النقاء المغربي جمال مدمج.
Dear older me, you are correct.
لديك العلم والمعرفة والدافع لتحقيق أهدافك.
To pioneer, to lead, to make a difference. You know, it won't always be easy to get it. But you're here.
And you've got us. So go ahead and take that next step.
قد تحتاجين فريق بأكمله، فمعاً سنصل. معاً نحن التطور، معاً نحو الازدهار. فلنعمل معاً على الإلهام والتحفيز والتمكين بهدف تحقيق الاحتواء الشامل للمرأة في الاقتصاد.
Start your journey today.
Because every day starts the same way. Certain details escape us until we actually notice them. And that often happens when it is least expected. Discovery consists of seeing what everybody has seen and thinking what nobody has thought. An idea never really chooses its moment. An idea, where does it come from anyway? An idea always comes unexpectedly. Usually when we're busy doing something else. An idea simply requires paying attention, catching, noticing what barely moves, feeling. An idea sometimes starts with just a detail. An idea always grows richer when we share it. An idea is already there. You just have to know how to look. An idea often begins with a simple what if. An idea isn't just dreaming. It's perceiving what was already there. An idea. That's precisely Sharjah Research Technology and Innovation Park. Inspiring the inspired.
الجمال الحقيقي عمره ما كان خياراً. بين حكمة
We're going to be starting our next panel in the next 5 minutes. Please make your way to the seats.
May I have your attention, please? All the attendees, VIPs, will request to please come back to the seat. We'd like to start the third panel. Thank you for attention. Once again, I request everyone to please come and have a seat. Kind request to everyone, please. The exhibitors are going to be here, so kindly request to please come and take a seat. Thank you all. We are back again. Can you please, attention everyone. I kindly request to please come back to the stage, seat. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome back. Our third panel, Living Longer, Living Smarter, Tech for Everyday Wellness, examines how new technologies are transforming health and lifestyle for everyday living. Please welcome our panelists, our moderator, Monika Slowanska, CEO and Work Relations Development Director at Business Women's Gateway. Andrea Prazakova, founder and CEO of Brain Gym and Zufa AI. Dr. Won, professor and consultant plastic surgeon. Dr. Eli Abirshad, health and biohacking strategist and founder of Limitless Human Restore.
Yes.
I hope you don't mind.
Hello, hello. Yes. 1, 2, 3. We can start. So welcome after the break. I would like to start by welcoming Her Highness Sheikh Badur Al Qasim, Excellencies, and all the guests. And would like to also introduce my guests. Maybe I start from women. Andrea Prazakova from Czech. So we are neighbors because I'm from Poland. Human-centered old advisor, ESG and longevity practitioner, TEDx speaker, investor, founder of Brain Gym and Zufa AI. Over 30 years of experience in innovation, technology, banking, and ESG across Europe, Asia, Africa, and Middle East.
Thank you so much.
And Dr. Eli Abrahad.
Yes.
Strangers in biohacking, fitness, and healthy aging, Harvard alums, founder of Restore Fitness and the Limitless Human Program, known for integrating advanced science recovery tools and personalized wellness to help people reduce their biological age. And Professor Known, expert in plastic surgery, focusing on applying advanced technology to anti-aging, consultant plastic surgeon, works on beauty for life, cosmetic and plastic surgery, clinic in Abu Dhabi, as well as Emirates professor.
Thank you.
Maybe I'm a little bit exotic here, so I introduce also myself. I'm from Poland. And my experience is 25 years in cosmetology, holistic health, and I also creating well-being program. And I'm ambassador of Polish Women Chamber of Commerce in Dubai. I start from the question about your perspective, why longevity is important topic for women. This is the question for each of us for the beginning.
Should I? Yeah, okay. So I think longevity in general is important for everyone, but for women specifically, I find that there are certain challenges that women face that men maybe don't face as much, including things such as bone density, loss of muscle, and other situations that take place. So being able to target this at the earlier as possible has greater results later on, especially in the last few decades of our lives. So education is key when it comes to this sort of thing. So for longevity in general, the way we address it and work around that whole topic for the last decade or so revolves around the fact that it's all about vitality. It's all about what's happening inside the body rather than chronological years and counting those. So one of the greatest sort of benefit for me turning my own biological age to a much lower one.
Yes, because you personally reduce your biological age under 17 years.
Yeah, so it varies between 15 and 20 years, but yes, in general. So it's the wisdom of being at a certain age chronologically, but also the vitality of being at a younger biological age. So combining these two, who was it that said that youth is wasted on the young? So as you grow older, you get to value and use vitality in a much more productive way. And it applies for both sexes for sure, but for women this is especially true.
Now, what is your perspective?
First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's really delightful to be here on the stage. I think Elio already answered quite a big portion of that, right? But let me say it from a woman's perspective. I am 52, I will be 53 years old. If I look at my grandmother passed away, she was 101. My mom is 80. But when my grandmother was my age, she didn't look like me. You know, at the age of 50, my mom was a grandmother already. So I think that what is really critical about longevity is not only the physical age, it's the mental state and what is your outlook to life? And ultimately, I definitely want to surpass my grandmother with 101, and I have big ambitions to do so. But with the time where women are having children much later, not anymore in their 80s and 20s, when women are having children in their 40s and even beyond, you need to consider how will you survive to be fit. Not only because you want to look beautiful, but because you need the health to sustain what the life demands of you. So and it starts, as you rightly said, with education. And it's, again, not only about your body, but it's your mind, which it's an incredible combination. And for women who are over 35 who are going into perimenopause and menopause, it's even more important. You mentioned loss of muscle mass, depression and anxiety, which are often correlated with loss of estrogen and many other hormones. And in the last years of these kind of periods where you really lose a lot of blood due to menstruation, that impacts your brain, which impacts anxiety and depression. So longevity is really, really important. We shouldn't underestimate it. And the key is we need to start to talk about it at the age of 12, 13, when young girls start to be young women, because that's where the journey starts. Maybe even before in their homes. But I feel that today we don't do enough.
Okay, first of all, I have to say thank you so much. And Your Excellencies and ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to be here and pretty much honored. So the question is, why woman? Okay, so as you said, the longevity is important to both women and men also, but in spite of the big hormonal change and many big events such as pregnancies, in Korea, the women live much longer than men, 7 years in average. I think the Japanese people has the longest longevity, and next is the Korean. Why the woman? I say that women deserve it because they suffer so many physical events and hormonal events. Also, they support family and also, especially in this emirate, also support this country. So, may I have a little bit some funny things? The more women live longer, the more customer I have. Thank you so much.
My slogan is 1 year ahead to maternity, 2 years back to longevity. I'm also the mother of 2 adult children and grandmother. And this is the proof how brain is important and our mindfulness. So question for you, Andrea, you are the founder of Brain Gym. Could you please inspire us how you create this platform?
So I'm a big health freak and I am a gym freak. So I have a gym in my own house. And I always feel that people are so obsessed in the way how they look, so am I have to admit, but they forget that the same way you exercise your muscles on your body, you must exercise the muscles in your brain. So it is very critical every day when you go and lift some weights in your gym that you allocate 15 to 30 minutes in your calendar to learn a new skill. So I started Brain Gym to teach people how to bring their brain to gym every day. And today
Can
in
you
the age
give us
of
some advice? How to,
I mean, the best way to start is just to put it in your calendar. I think that's the first thing, right? So put it next to all your appointments and your meditation schedule and your gym schedule and everything. Put a learning schedule into your calendar, 5 days a week. Or maybe you can start with 1 day a week. And during that time, learn something which you didn't know before. I speak in a lot of women forums, and it really shocks me how little women are interested in new technologies. I'm in tech for 32 years, and it really surprised me that we don't go deeper. And AI is such a fantastic tech. I mean, it's here since 1956, but in the main domain for the last 3 years, right? And this is really critical. So why don't you go every day and learn for 15 minutes something new, a new skill? And that, it's, Kaizen, the Japanese approach is one improvement at a time. And then it's 300 or 200 days a year. Imagine what it does to you. It gives you wings. And so what I do with my company Brain Gym is I go to corporates, to schools, and I upskill and reskill their staff and their colleagues to teach them practical skills about artificial intelligence, which they can apply every day in their work. And of course, push them to go to Brain Gym every day, because that, going once for a training is not sufficient. It's going once to gym, muscles won't grow. This is a result of years and years and hours of practice. And I really believe that we are not doing enough with our brains. We scroll a lot on Instagram, but maybe instead of scrolling on Instagram, go to Brain Gym, learn something new. Because you can become entrepreneur very late. As long as you don't stop learning, that's the whole principle of Brain Gym. And it's a part of longevity, right? Because longevity needs to, what do you know, how you feel, and how your body operates. So that the three components is the part which we need to look after. So not only the physical, but the feeling and how much do we know.
Dr. Ali, what does biohacking really mean? And how can it help women life longevity, healthy life?
Biohacking. So I actually wrote a book about that specifically for the Middle East, because I thought that biohacking needs to be very regional, very regional, and it needs to be targeted at us instead of just importing information from abroad. So biohacking is simply using data to hack your own biology, meaning that, and your complete biology. I'm talking head to toe. You see me, for example, wearing barefoot shoes right now because that directly contributes to the health of my spine, to my lower back, and even to the way that I stand. And when I measure what's happening in my body, I'm able to uniquely customize what my body needs. So for women, this is especially true because of the complexity of what happens during a cycle or during a month or year over year or when we get to a certain age. It is especially important to understand what your body is going through and what it needs. Now, it is a fact that we are all overnourished, oversupplemented, under-exercised, and under-recovered. So when you take on a program, be it under a longevity banner, be it under biohacking banner or whatever, you need to be able to base that on science. Lots of information out there, simplify it. You are all the wearable that you need, because one of the key things when it comes to biohacking is to use some sort of a wearable in order for you to understand what's happening for your sleep, your HRV, your resting heart rate, and so many other things. So your body is your biggest wearable. If you listen to it, if you see what is happening, be it on a brain level, be it on a musculoskeletal level, or perhaps one of the most important, which is there is a direct relationship to the brain, is your microbiome. So if you listen to that amazing wearable that you live in, you'll be able to adjust quite a bit. And that's basically what biohacking is.
So this is individual way for each of us, actually.
Very individual, because no two people are the same. And no two people live in a similar environment, even though I see in certain households, when I'm working with a husband, for example, the wife would have some of the similar symptoms because they share some of the things that affect their biology, be it the ingredients that they use to clean their house with, or the sort of shampoo that they use, or the clothes that they wear, or the things that they wash their clothes with. We're constantly being bombarded by things that challenge our immunity. So part of biohacking is to also work on your immunity, because there's only certain limits that you could control when it comes to your external environment, especially for us here. When we're talking about extensive use of ACs, the dust, the heat, the particular stress that we go through, and these are some of the negative, obviously, but there are the positives outweigh it, such as Mediterranean diet, the amount of light, all of that stuff. So we're uniquely positioned to kind of understand what happens around us and control your environment that you live in, such as your bedroom, but also control what's happening inside.
So what kind of small changes can give us bigger results?
So I have to agree with my panelist that brain is the great start, is the place to start. Reframing how we think of health is really important. Right now, we wait for our body to make us do something about our health instead of us taking charge of what's happening, taking responsibility for it. So I start with small challenging things for the brain. And I have to add also that even the gym can be part of your neuroplasticity and part of improving your cognition, because it could be part of your meditation routine. But if I were to simplify it even further, because it's all about including it in your existing schedule rather than to go outside of it to try to implement it. It has to be stacked with what you do on a day-to-day basis. So if I break it down to breathing, light, and nutrition, these are the three main things that you can kind of control. So breathing exercises are incredible. Yes, so it's all kind of included with that. So if with the breath work, you could control so much of your emotions, what's happening in your brain, and so on. Light is incredible to control your circadian rhythm.
Right? Yes, we need
natural
daily
light. Yes. So a good night's sleep starts in the morning, and a great morning starts the night before. So it's all about circadian rhythm. Seeing light first thing in the morning actually helps you to sleep better at night, and so on.
Professor Awan, how can recent technology help us understand aging and the longevity better?
You mean the recent technologies, okay? So I'm not a scientist, I'm just a clinician. As a kind of executioner that I do fight against aging and longevity provided by you. Okay. So practically, the recent developed technology is the three things. First one is the stem cells and nanomolecular biology, and also the physics, like as energy device, machine, radio frequencies, and ultrasound, and laser. So recent development make us very, very active to fight against aging.
So what ethical challenges do you see when you're using anti-aging technology?
Yes, like as Dr. Ali, and now everybody is concentrated on the genetic reprogramming and the genetic editing and also senolysis. And also, we are now working at the product of stem cells and how they work in our body. So the recent technology which will break through our longevity program is the kind of nanotechnology, I think so.
So from your experience, what inspires you most about the future of anti-aging technology?
Inspires for the Emiratis or?
Generally, because you
general.
have experience in Korea and here. Yeah. And also, what is the difference? Because this is the huge difference.
I think the future, okay, is depend on how much we concentrate and how much we have a focus on our aging. Because, so as you see, the anti-aging is a big industry. So it depends on how much they concentrate and how specific field they concentrate, I think so. So we have three fields, as I mentioned. Okay, one is molecular biology and also the genetics and physics. And all together, they will go together and step forward and forward, I think so.
Andrea, so how can AI help women improve their health and well-being in daily life?
Maybe let's turn it around a little bit, the question, right? So I think from a woman as an entrepreneur, AI is super powerful. If you are in your field or Dr. Kwan's field, from a research perspective, using synthetic data for testing, we haven't been able to do that in the past. We can do it, that means anything which you want to bring to the market, you can do it much faster. And I really enjoyed the panel before. There is a very little research done on females, and the ones which is done on females is on very young females. So a lot of medications, a lot of supplements, and we had a discussion about it before, it's done on males. Not because nobody wanted to test on the women, but just that is how it was. So with artificial intelligence today and with use of synthetic data, you can fast forward the testing. I would love to have medication, even antibiotics, which been tested on women like me, or which been tested like Asian women or African women, because we all have a very different constitutions and very different how we react. So I think number one, where AI is super powerful, if you are or if you're not in the space of longevity, it's the research, the testing, and that you can much better understand what it does to individuals, because you can simulate, right? Secondly, if you're sitting here and not everybody can afford expensive testing, expensive longevity protocols. I program myself AI agent, where I put every 2 months my blood results, I connected it with my data from my Oura Ring, my smart scale. I feed all the data in, which helps me to answer many of the questions. How are my supplements working? How do my biomarkers work? So not every time in the past you would need to go to an expensive place which would do the analytics, and not everybody can afford it. So AI in your personal hands is like a Wakanda, right? You can do anything with it. And the third area, from a longevity of an entrepreneur and business, today I would encourage every woman to really learn how they can utilize AI as a teammate from a research perspective, ideation, prototyping, building business plans, using AI agents to take some of the work which they have to do every day. I give you an example, even as a mother, right? So I have my sons are 15 and 13. When AI came out, which is almost three years ago, I put them through 1 week AI course. By the end of the week, the kids at the time, which were 10 and 13, they brought up their own products. So if a child of the age of 10 can do it, women should be able to do it as well. So I think that AI for longevity, not only physical and mental, and as you know, correcting your emails, should and is opening a door for females to start up businesses. And the Spark initiative in Sharjah here and what they offer to female entrepreneurs is a great start, a great starting point. And I want to just elaborate a little bit what you said before, if that's okay, about the protocols, right? I mean, you two males, I am the only female, so I will enjoy that luxury. You mentioned the sleep, you mentioned the right nutrition, and so on. And I would love to just to share quickly the protocol I do, right? Because if you think about our grandmothers, they didn't hear what longevity is. But if you wake up and you meditate for 15 minutes, number one, you then take your dog for a walk for another half an hour, you get some sun, right? I go to gym every day. I have a sauna and ice bath, which I kicked our cars out of our garage and built our own gym inside. So I do sauna and ice bath. And this is not a new thing to do. I used to go to sauna with my parents when I was little in Czech Republic. Yes, so get up, meditate, rain or shine. Get up for a short walk. It doesn't matter what the temperature is outside. Do the exercise, watch what you're eating, get 8 hours sleep. These are things which are not big longevity hacks and can really take you really further down the line. And what you put into your mouth, I do intermittent fasting 16 hours every day. Some people say that it's not good for every woman to do. It really works for me. So find what's right for you, get the right advice, but do something. I think that the key is start. Start tomorrow, even if it's with 15 minutes, start. And I think one of the biggest lessons I learned in this journey is be selfish as a woman. You know, as a woman, as mothers and wives, we get up and our first concern is, do the kids have lunch for school? Does the husband has a clean trousers he can wear? Is the maid paid? So we are like the CEO of the house, and we are the drivers, the maids, we do everything, and we are the last people we think about. And it took me many, many years to say, I need to meditate. You need breakfast, do yourself, because I am meditating right now. And that, I think, is a massive switch which every woman needs to start to have, to say, I need to think about myself first, because if I should be here for my kids for the next 20 or 30 or 40 years, I should stop thinking about if they have a sandwich for school now. They're capable of doing their own sandwiches. I need to meditate because it's important for my mental health, and I will do it and I will complete it. I think that's really key.
So maybe let's start today with the Limitless Human program, which you create. What is it and how does it work? Maybe it's similar. Maybe people find some solution.
Yes, so it's meant to transform motivation to discipline, because this is where most people kind of fall off the wagon, if you like. So we get excited about, feeling better, or we need to do something about our health, or this sounds exciting, but then when you put it into practice, then there's too much information for us to handle. So Limitless Human, and what people ask me, why limitless? Because I believe that this is something already exists in all of us. It's not something that you need to seek. It's not a destination. You are already limitless in every possible way. We live in this incredible body that is capable of amazing things that have been proven over and over again, be it in space or on Earth. So it starts with data, collecting data, and we do a wide variety of things that include some of the things that my panelists have mentioned, but also we do VO2 max testing, we do grip strength, we do stability of the foot, we do alignment of the body. We also do EEGs to kind of understand how the brain is functioning, because it's super important. It's a holistic thing that everything works together. And then we feed this up, and this is where AI also works for us. We feed this into an AI twin that everybody gets on the program. And that AI twin is then connected to the wearables, be it your 8 Sleep that you sleep on, or be it your rings or watch or health app on any wearable, basically. And then it updates live. So every time you have a good night's sleep, every time you move a little bit more, you have a certain amount of steps. All of these are also included in your overall avatar. So all of your metrics are constantly changing one way or the other, which really demonstrate that it is properly a journey. And then based on that, I build a protocol that I follow myself, that we then translate this information into 4 main pillars, if you like. The first one being strain. And under strain, we look at how people move, how often they move, a particular and very varied workout routine. Then after that, we work on defend, where what are we doing for our immunity, be it through bone broth or collagen or any of the things that we take that necessarily feed our microbiome, and how we protect ourselves from our environment. And then we move on to recovery. And in recovery is one of the things that I see the most in most people that I work with, is that most people now work out, they move. Unfortunately, quite a few of them are actually overdoing it and under-recovering. So they're not spending enough time allowing their body, where the true adaptation happens is when you recover, when you have a good night's sleep, when you do an active recovery on a particular day, when you meditate enough, and so on. So we create a recovery a plan. And at the end, we then focus on thriving, the T in the protocol. And in thriving, we focus on mental stimulation, increasing cognition, improving memory, and we use tools that are very accessible now, things such as Neurovisor and Pulsetto and other devices like that, as well as encouraging people to learn a new skill or learn a language, for example, or challenge yourself to get from A to B without using Google Maps, for example. Remember a phone number rather than just depending on your phone. Simple things like that we used to take for granted that now, you know, if you ask someone their own phone number, most likely they won't remember. So it's a holistic thing, something that we work completely around the whole body. And it's very exciting to see people ticking backwards their biological age and seeing the difference in everything that they do, including the way they drive, the way they treat their spouse, their children, their colleagues, their bosses, because it all stems from the same place. And the last thing I want to say is that one thing that I firmly believe on, and it basically leads everything that I do, that I believe wholeheartedly that well-being is a shared endeavor. It is not a unique thing that we do for ourselves. It's not a selfish thing. We all need to be healthy together. And part of the journey is to help others become healthy. So this is one of the greatest rewards of what I do.
Professor what tips or advice would you give today, right here, about the skincare practically?
Okay, thank you
Maybe
very much.
before surgery.
So that's the highlight of my thought here. And the very, very nice things and wonderful things to live healthy, okay? But if you feel those old program is not enough or a little bit you want to improve, please come to me. Okay, and my practical point is that here the weather is very, very hot and sun exposure, the sun rays too strong, and there are so many sand and micro sand, nano sand. So here I'd like advise you that to protect your skin, please do whatever you can, but use the skin hydration usually twice more than indicated in the instruction box. Okay, because here the skin of Emirate and the Middle East woman is ideally stronger than North European woman, but a little bit weaker than Korean and Asian people. But because of the hazardous weather, it's very, very vulnerable to be injured. So usually in sunblock, sunscreen, it is indicated twice a day, but please do it 4 times a day. Here. And also, please do not make harm to your skin because it's very vulnerable. There is a certain thickness of skin barrier in our skin, but to wash too harsh will be broke the barrier. So I'd like to recommend please buy a weak acid cleansing foam, okay, not the very hard soap. So maybe the manufacturer will be happy to hear that use more and more. And another practical point is please change your pillow sheet every night. Okay? During your sleep, okay, many things comes out from your skin and will ruin your skin into the pore. Okay. So the everyday changing your pillow sheet is very, very important. So, and if not insufficient, if insufficient, and then please come to us.
Okay. So, what advice would you give young women interested in science and technology careers? Because a lot of women dreaming about this.
Yes, for the question I have to ask the excellencies and the government over here. So as you see, in now United States, the government, they bring all the factories, especially Korean high technology factory to implant in United States. So like us, please bring all the high technology anti-aging industry to build their plant here and hire the Emirates women to work there and study there. So because it's now the future, the economics will be participated by the anti-aging industry. And also the knowledge earned by Emirate women will be descended next generation. So I'm very happy to say that. Please bring the high technology factory and manufacturer here.
So, thank you, you to all our panelists for your insight. I hope today's conversation has inspired new ways of thinking about technology, wellness, and the future of women's health, because this is more important. And the longevity should be healthy on the first top.
Thank you and well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I'm pretty much spent a very happy time.
Thank you.
Thank you, panelists. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the main stage program of the Women in Technology Forum 2025. The CEO Circle will now take place in the dedicated space on your right, running until 1:50, followed by our networking lunch. The sessions will feature two thought program discussions: Next Gen Living, What Do We Keep, What Do We Leave Behind? Next Generation Leaders in AI and Sustainability, hosted by the Shuruq Youth Council. Thank you.
Test, test.
Yeah, 2 more.
Hello. Attention everyone, we would be having a CEO circle at the end of the venue. Please join us. The CEO circle, it's a kind of a one-on-one discussion with CEOs. So please be free to come and join us.
Test, test.
Before it actually was a globally kind of established issue. And we did have a conversation about this eco-based, it was like an eco-based, ecosystem-based product or something like that, which defined prosperity, including also actually the negative as well. Well, I mean, always, no? Exactly, positive energy. Oh, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the CEO Circle as part of the Women in Tech Next Gen Living Forum at Sharjah Research, Technology and Innovation Park. My name is Aya Isa, and I serve as a regional director for IPT Energy. So much of my work sits at the intersection of energy, sustainability, and innovation. And like many of you here today, I am curious about how the next generation of leaders, especially women and our man today, representative, are shaping industries, communities, and values for the future. Exactly. This forum is about more than technology. It's about how the next generation of women leads, how we preserve what matters, and how we embrace innovation responsibly. So our conversation today will touch on these three themes. I want to start with what traditions and values do we keep and what do we leave behind. We'll then move into how innovation and leadership are evolving across different sectors. And we'll close off with personal journeys, hopes, and legacies for the future. I'm honored to be moderating this panel here today, this discussion among exceptional leaders who bridge diplomacy, entrepreneurship, health innovation, technology. Let me now introduce our distinguished panelists. I'll start with Her Excellency, Lucy Berger. She has served as the European Union Ambassador to the UAE since 2023, with over a decade of diplomatic experience across climate, trade, and global cooperation from Brussels, Geneva, and Riyadh. She brings a strong focus on sustainability, international partnerships, and next-generation leadership. I'll introduce next Mr. Mohammed Hilal, who is a distinguished Emirati businessman, leader, and visionary entrepreneur whose career spans aviation, luxury, and cross-industry innovation. As founder and CEO of Mohammed Hilal Group, he has built one of the UAE's most influential multi-sector enterprises, with iconic brands and collaborations that have redefined regional luxury. Recognized for his entrepreneurial vision with multiple awards, his leadership also extends into national institutions and higher education, where he serves on boards and advisory councils, shaping entrepreneurship, governance, and innovation. I would then like to introduce Nadine Karadag, who is the co-founder of Valio, a Dubai-based health tech startup that raised over 20 million in Series B funding to pioneer personalized well-being. An INSEAD MBA with career in private equity, IPOs, and large-scale operations, she turned her personal health journey into a mission to empower people to take control of their well-being. And I will end it with Victoria Daunt, who leads alliances at W Digital, a UAE Future 100 firm in cybersecurity and AI. She brings cross-sector insight, applying lessons from hospitality to drive human-centered innovation. She co-launched Expertise Lab to help brands adapt emerging technologies from AI to blockchain. She's also the founder of She Runs It, empowering women to pursue entrepreneurship, financial freedom, and wellness. So welcome, everybody. We'll start with our first theme. Quick recap, what to keep, what to leave behind. And I'd like to start with Your Excellency, Lucy, on the global diplomatic values. And in diplomacy and global cooperation, what values do we preserve for future generations?
Thank you very much for having me, first of all, and good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor, actually, to speak with so many impressive CEOs of really innovative companies. I come from the diplomatic background, so I'm bridging to the diplomacy. The values that we should actually keep for the future generations, I've prepared 4. It's optimism, respect, connectivity, and equity. And let me elaborate. I'm a very optimistic person, and I also believe that we actually have to strive for the future generations to actually leave the best future or build the best future for them. I also think that without dreams, there's no change, and there is always optimism in dreaming, and there has to be optimism in dreaming in order to achieve change. So that's the first one. When it comes to respect, respect actually cuts across everything that is important in diplomacy. Respect for life, to start, respect for others, for other cultures, and also actually respect for the rules that we've built over time and that we called the rules-based order. So that's the value I think we should also preserve. Normally, I would talk about communication, but we are here on Technology Forum, and so I'm looking at connectivity because I think it's the modern way of communicating, connecting people, and using technology also actually for bringing cultures, people, and ideas together. And finally, equity, inclusion. Of course, we're talking about women in technology. For the EU, it's not only inclusion of women, but diversity overall. And nowadays, we even have countries where we have more female ambassadors than male ambassadors, for example, in Finland. So there's also inclusion of men in these countries that becomes a new policy. I think if we are building a future, there have to be women involved in technology development. I think you've heard it many times today, you've seen it, and it's an established fact. We cannot build technology that only takes into account one point of view and one experience, especially when it comes to artificial intelligence, for example. And as an example from my work, we recently organized an AI Ideathon, Women Shaping Water. And I have to tell you that the results that we got, the ideas from these young women and girls from universities actually, coming up with solutions that are huge problems at country level, is very inspirational, and that brings me back to the optimism. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. And perfect segue, I guess, to Victoria. So as technology transforms our lives, which human values do you believe we should carry forward with us?
So I loved your values, and I actually very agree with everything that you said. However, I'd like to add maybe 3 more. So the first one that I found important is integrity, because I found that you need to look in integrity in everyone. It can be your partner, your business partner, teammate, anyone. It's very important to look at that in people. Another one is also courage, and mixed with vulnerability. Because for me, it's very important to be courageous, having the courage to take risks without even guarantees, without knowing that the outcome would be fabulous. But you need to have the courage to tell yourself that you can do it and take this risk to potentially have an amazing outcome. And it leads also to vulnerability, because for me it's very important to acknowledge sometimes the fact that you're wrong and that you need help and that you can improve. So being having the courage to be also vulnerable. And a last one that is, I think, underrated is a sense of humor and having the smile on people's face. And that is something that we don't speak about a lot, but it's very important to know that you're here and that by, just having some love with people and making them feel good, you can build amazing connection that any argument couldn't make.
Thank you very much. And again, that gives me a perfect segue to Nadine a bit on the well-being, because if you're making people feel good, means you're also ideally happy, good, you're well in your skin. So from your perspective, which traditions in wellness and health should we keep alive as we look forward?
Sure. Thank you for today. It makes me actually very happy to be here because I grew up in Sharjah, so came back to my roots. About what to keep as traditions. One good news is the new generation is the wellness generation. They are actually, the next gen spends more time and money on taking care of their wellness than our generation and the older generation. So I guess there is a lot of learning that comes from each generation. I think now we spoke today about biohacking, longevity, and sometimes all of these can be very overwhelming. The basics are really, the traditions we should keep is eat home-cooked food, which is very important, sleep well, which is also one of our foundations, move. Move doesn't mean you need to run a marathon. For someone, it's a marathon. For someone, it's maybe walking 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes per day. And also, lastly, the most important, because I am in diagnostics and at-home care, do know your data. Do your preventative health checkups. One important thing that is very important to know is insurance. I know insurance is a huge subject. Who's insured, what's insurance covered, all of these. Insurance is only interested to cover your cost if you are sick. They are not supposed to take care of you before, but something that is very important is your sugar levels, your cholesterol levels, your vitamin D levels. These are the basics that I think every person, starting from youth, should know. And just taking diabetes levels. Diabetes levels, you shouldn't only think, am I diabetic or not? Am I pre-diabetic? Are my sugar levels a bit higher than last year? Did I change my lifestyle in a way that I'm trending towards being pre-diabetic and then diabetic? So, these traditions, we should keep them. And I think my father, and I would imagine other people's parents, there's this mindset of, we have diabetes in the family, so when I grow old, I'm gonna get diabetes too. No. Let this new generation change that mindset and not bring that tradition to now.
Thank you very much. And it's true, once you're addicted to the data, it's impossible to get out of it. But good news, it's a good thing. So thank you. I want to bring it back a bit to culture and business, to Mohammed Hilal, and ask which traditions do you believe should be preserved?
Thank you for this beautiful question, and thank you, ladies, for starting this discussion.
Gentlemen.
Yeah. Actually, I think we really need to fundamentally rethink of tradition, as she said. Traditions are not old, repeated practices. They're actually there to help us and protect us. Lately, I felt most of the people trying to protect tradition, which is the wrong thinking, I guess. We need to start thinking back, is this tradition, which we call a tool to help us survive, is doing the job or no? Then we think how we can take it forward, because we're shaping a new tradition right now. And we should think, as she said as well, diabetes shouldn't be part of our belief system that we will carry forward. Many more traditions that we shouldn't carry forward. But for me, I have 3 Fs. One of them, fun, fair, and forward thinking. These are the right core, simple formula to make you progress, flourish, and grow forward. Complicating your life with many details sometimes make it hard. But when it's fun, fair, and forward, it's easy to enjoy your life and always drop your love.
Thank you very much. So we've left things behind, we've carried things forward, and that brings me to theme number 2, next-gen leadership and innovation. How the younger generations and the entrepreneurs are reshaping opportunities in leadership today. I will start with Victoria on how are women entrepreneurs and innovators reshaping leadership for the next generation, coming from an entrepreneur yourself.
It's a very interesting question because it's true that I found that it has evolving a lot. And I would say it is evolving in a very powerful way because I found that right now leaders and the next generation want to bring other people and the next generation forward. So when they rise, they want to bring people rising with them. So I found that right now people not only create new leaders, but add new leaders and bring other women with them. And I found that with just, for example, the power of community. Right now, there's a lot of women community, a lot of women podcasts. We have a lot of ways through social media and influence that shows us that it's possible to rise all together. And I found that, first of all, beautiful, this collaboration over competition. And I found one of the biggest change also around leadership is simply that I found right now that it's beautiful to see, for example, a legacy building created. So I found that amazing that when a woman wants to build something, she's not only telling herself, oh, what will I, create, but what will I also leave behind? What will the next generation will see? What big impacts I can make? And I found that very beautiful.
Thank you very much. And you bring up legacy, which brings me to Mohammed. How has your journey from pilot to entrepreneur shaped your view of legacy and innovation, as that's our topic?
As being a pilot, I discovered that there is no flight plan for entrepreneurship. There are principles that will help you navigate and pass through your journey. But the only thing that I maybe focus on my journey is really thinking of legacy in a very special way. I think the greatest legacy is when we invent ourselves. Most of the time we focus on producing a company or a product or a brand. But what about us? Let's imagine each of us, inside him, there could be a Michael Jordan or an Einstein or Steve Jobs. And to me, from being a pilot, leaving that job to venture into perfume and design and all these things, I was thinking of that beautiful legacy, not for me, for my children, because I will inherit my neural pathways and DNA to them, which I thought, this is the greatest legacy I will have given to the community, to my family, to identify my natural talent, my natural passion, and then merge them together to invent a new capability that is so unique that nobody can compete with. And I think this is the greatest thinking toward legacy, invent yourself first. Don't find a job and run for it. Think within, navigate, fly inside, understand your instrument, your capability, your environment, and understand where you will be the greatest person at. And that's a huge benefit to yourself, to your family, and to the community.
Thank you for that. I want to ask Nadine, how is technology changing the way people take ownership of their health today?
Now, if we look at, for example, Value Health, I say we use technology to remove all excuses to take care of yourself. On the app and many other apps, on the app you can book a nurse to come to your house, take your blood test, you get your results on the app analyzed, you can connect with a doctor or a nutritionist to give you advice, and then whatever required, we deliver it at home. So really, technology empowers you to take care of yourself. Before, you had to go to somewhere, you had to, and with the current traffic and the time, it's impossible. So I always say technology removes all roadblocks. It simplifies things, it gives you the data, it gives you transparency, it makes it convenient. We are very much obsessed with checking our financial trends or taking our car for maintenance. But we don't think of our own bodies. So if technology makes it easier for us to understand our bodies, understand our trends, because your financial trend or your car going to maintenance will mean nothing if your health is not in the correct place. So please use all the technology there is there to take care of yourself and understand your body.
Thank you very much. And to close off this theme, I want to ask you, Your Excellency, on how are younger generations in Gulf reshaping diplomacy and leadership to bring it back on high level after delving into it?
Thank you. In my career, especially between Europe and GCC, I've witnessed exchange programs where we try to share the experience from diplomacy with the youth from the Gulf and also with the youth in Europe. And I have to say, the one thing that really strikes me the most is passion. I think the young leaders, both in Europe and Gulf and probably globally, are actually shaping diplomacy and future of leadership through their passion. It's very inspiring. It's actually something that gives you the belief that there is energy and dynamism that can bring us to a better future. Even at times it might look quite difficult. So I think passion would be the one that I want to point out. But also it goes hand in hand with curiosity and a vast amount of information and knowledge that I cannot imagine I would have had when I was young. So it's actually this combination of bringing the information, critical thinking, building knowledge, and trying to apply it in an innovative way with the passion that actually I think is really formulating the future of leaders and diplomats in both regions. But I also want to point out one thing that I've experienced here in the UAE. We organized a number of cooperation in international relations, including the first model of European Union. It's a simulation of how we take decisions in the EU, essay competition, and so on. And we mostly have women who participate here in the UAE. I think we had about 20 women at the University of Sharjah and 4 men in the model of European Union. So I think the young generation shaping diplomacy are women. And that's very comforting and nice to see.
Amazing. We are here today to celebrate that and see how we're going to grow that anyway. Which brings me to the third part of our discussion today on personal lessons, inspirations, and legacy. Nadine, what values guide you in balancing innovation with personal, human-centered health practices?
Thinking, we were now discussing legacy. And I think legacy is such a big word. I mean, it's a big word, right? And you need, it's such a big responsibility. I think when it comes to leaders, if you're living your purpose and you're living it truly and authentically and with integrity, that's where you can create the legacy, the values. Now, if we look at what type of, can you repeat the, sorry?
Values that guide you in balancing basically innovation with your human-centered approach.
So I started about the purpose. The purpose I launched Value Health was because of family experience. We had chronic diseases in the family, so we were always in and out of the hospital, and that's how my purpose came to be. At the end, technology is there to bring that, to help us bring that human connection. I think a lot of us have gone to a hospital, sat in front of a doctor, and not that this doctor was right or wrong, but the doctor was more interested in writing on his laptop instead of like looking at you and giving you feedback. And then also, let's say, interested in like finding the CPT code for insurance instead of listening to you and thinking of you. So as long as in healthcare and wellness, we use technology to support us, give better service to whoever we're serving, that's where the most important values are.
Thank you. Victoria, what inspired you to start She Runs It? And how does it reflect what we keep and what we let go of?
Thank you for the question. So what inspired me to create She Runs It, this woman empowering community, was when I looked at women, you know, those women that felt trapped by financial dependence, trapped by geography, by, you know, the fact that they had to rely on someone else. And when I looked at that, I said that there is something that, you know, we already start the change, but needs to be pushed. And so that's why I created, you know, this sisterhood that I wish I had when I started this journey of building my own business, on scaling, you know, the corporate ladder. And so I said that now, with the power of social media and influence, if I have the power to bring my experience to life, that's what I will do through this movement. And so that's how I started to create that. And now it's a community that I try to expand all over the world. And I come from France, so I'm very happy to share that here in the UAE. And I think it's also very important because I think the change is even more impactful in the UAE currently right now. So very happy to share that, and thank you for your question.
Thank you for that. Your Excellency, if you can define the next-gen global community in one value, what would it be? In one hope or value?
Solidarity. It's something that is very close to our heart in the European Union. It's something that I think should guide us going forward. I do see it actually in the young generation. I hope we can continue building on solidarity. Just a little bit going in history of the EU, it actually was built with the idea of bringing peace through economic cooperation. And if there was not this vision of solidarity across the countries, we would not be where we are. And sometimes we have difficulties to agree on things, and sometimes it takes us really long time to make a move. But it's always the solidarity that actually helps us to push through crises and to make progress. And I think solidarity across countries, across generations, across gender is actually what I hope will define the future generation.
That's amazing. Thank you. I've saved the best for last. Mohammed, what is the one tradition or value that you hope your brands will help keep alive for future generations?
Wow, this is a very tough question, but I love it actually. You know, we really love to understand how people feel, and we created something actually new. We call it emotional innovation, which we call it Emovation. It's not technology, it's nothing. It's how to invent a new feeling, Emovation. So that's our real thing we want to give to the world. You will tell me how. I'll tell you, you know what? Everything we do every day is to feel something other than progress. Progress, we seek progress, but more powerful than progress is how do we feel? How I want to feel, and that's my drive to do this thing. And I always ask people, when you woke up, are you clear what you want to feel today? No one cares about it, but this is the number one thing we're working for. So our brand and our, let's say, group will help people realize which feeling they want to feel and live every day and protect it from the morning all the way to the night by using a smell or a thought process to keep your day the way you want. Because you don't need much to feel what you want to feel. You need just to be aware of it and then fight for it, protect it, and live it. And I'll give you a quick example. We are launching a new feeling. We call it Aliyai. As you told me before, you said a lot of people globally stressed because they have to be clear about their future. And many of us are not. They are working hard to identify that future, right? But we tell them there is a feeling which help you fight back the society which expects you to be mastering your business or mastering your job by feeling aliyai, which means that I'm working on myself to identify what I want to achieve, when I will achieve it, and how. So take it easy with me. So people are more content, more relaxed, and more happy. Our vision and mission is to help people to be more aware of their feeling, what they want to achieve. We want to invent more feelings. Since 1970, when the computer were invented, laptop were created, and internet is deployed, our life is so fast and so easy. Easy without joy, fast with no moments that we remember. So what happened, we developed externally so much, but internally we're still very hollow. So we invent a new feeling to fill those space inside us for us and for our next generation. And this is what we want to bring to the world. We believe it's one of the greatest purpose. It's not smaller than Tesla or Apple because it's free and it doesn't require the internet. Imagine every year we stand on a stage launching a new feeling that will make us all feel better. So it's mobile is good, but a feeling will give you way more effective result in yourself.
Thank you very much. I think we're already all feeling much better today and
so every day
discovering
morning,
one feeling at a time.
One thing I would like to say, every day morning when you wake up, think which feeling you want to protect. When you do what? When you move your hand to hold your perfume bottle. Because nobody owns this hand movement, right? When you move hand, you don't think of anything. When you move your hand toward your perfume bottle, think, this is my moment, and my perfume bottle is a representation of my life. So I'm in control of my life. What do I want to feel today? And when you spray your fragrance, link it to that feeling. So you remember every time. I'm not saying buy my fragrances, but I'm saying whatever fragrance you have, link it with that feeling you want to protect and live the whole day with that feeling. And I'm sure tomorrow you will remember us when you move your hand, inshallah.
There's a reason storytelling is at the core of what you do and how you grow. I want to do one thing before I close, a rapid fire closing session. And the one thing I want to ask, one word out of all you speakers, is what is the one human value that you believe technology and innovation must never replace? Otherwise, I have what ChatGPT predicted you guys would say. So I want to see if it matches or not. Please, whoever would like to start.
I can start. Connection. I think, you know, Sir Muhammad, you talk about feelings. We forget all of these. I think connection, community.
Empathy.
I think I come back to integrity for one thing important regarding that. It's, you know, the fact that what is important in integrity is because you are good as a human being and not just doing things because you know that people look at you and so you have to be good, but just being good even though you know that nobody is watching you.
Thank you.
It's a very tough question again, and I will not say
just
anything.
Said without a computer, you're able to do so much.
But I think we're not seeing the future, genuinely. All what we think we're trying to protect, the computer will do it. But we need to shift our perspective. And instead of competing with the tools, riding the tools. So by the time that those tools are capable to do what we think they cannot do, we should have a new uniqueness that will ask the tool to do for us. So we shouldn't fight with the tool. We just use it, apply it, make it help us, and let's stop making it that our enemy somehow. Because we are trying to say that, tools will not take this away from us. But in reality, we invented it. Let us do what it can do to help us live and achieve a better life for us. So I don't have anyone to raise.
I said already empathy. Yeah. So we go with empathy. So I'll keep it very brief at closing. I'm going to go back to keywords that I've heard today. Feeling, passion, empathy, forward thoughts, emotional innovation, I like this a lot, legacy, well-being, inclusion, integrity we've mentioned, curiosity, courage, solidarity. And I believe this, I will leave you with this as the key pillars that seem and that really do capture the spirit of the next gen leadership. Thank you very much to our speakers. Thank you to everybody here today. It was great to have you.
Very interesting, I have to say. It's very nice. She runs it. What is it, like a running?
Hello.
Please have a seat. We'll be doing the CEO circle by Shurooq.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Shuruq Youth Council, it is an honor to welcome you all to this inspiring panel as part of the Women in Tech Forum, organized by Sharjah Research, Technology and Innovation Park. Our session, Next Gen Leaders in AI and Sustainability, highlights the power of women leading and reshaping the future of technology, sustainability, and innovation. As part of this conversation, we're honored to welcome a truly multi-dimensional leader, Engineer Fatma Ahmed Al-Musawi, welcome, who is an environmental science researcher, the first certified Emirati tea master, an entrepreneur, certified trainer in environment and innovation, bringing her expertise to empower others. In addition, she serves as a member of the Emirates Youth Entrepreneurship Council and was recognized as part of the 4th edition of Arab Youth Pioneers. Mabruk Fatma. Our next speaker is Engineer Iman Ahmed, who is an advanced leader in technologies, is the first founder of an Emirati company in the metaverse, and an AI specialist, and she's also an entrepreneur. Through her work, she is pushing the boundaries of what technology can achieve while inspiring and guiding future generations to step into leadership in emerging fields. Welcome both, and thank you for being part of this conversation. Let's start with Fatma. So, with your multiple roles, I would like for you to tell us about your journey as you have combined sustainability with innovation and entrepreneurship. How is that?
I'm so happy to be here. It's a good question to start with. My journey started with something so simple. It's just tea. But when we began a family heritage and we think, how can we transform this into a bigger question? How can I take a family heritage into a key or a tool to sustainability and innovation? From this question, my journey had started. And I can say, because Fatma was a person that wants to know everything about everything. إذا حد قال لي بس شي ما توقف عندي. It doesn't stop with me if someone just say, it's just go like this. No, I keep on asking. So I was that kind of a kid. And in 2017, I launched my business under the name of Chai by يجند الراس. يجند الراس is an Emirati phrase which means mood setter. وبالعربي يجند الراس يحسن المزاج. So I chose this name because it's an Emirati phrase and it will reflect my brand. Additionally, maybe one of the questions that comes to your mind, why she started with tea, right? So I was that kid that they cannot grab me with the chips or any kind of candy. Like if there is a flask of a tea, Fatma come tea, I will sit. I will not do anything. Just give me a cup of tea. That's it. And the love of the tea in our family runs in the blood. My grandfather used to mix different kinds of tea, and it was as a hobby. It wasn't as a business. So from generation to generation, my uncles, my aunties, my grandfather, and my father used to do their own blends. It's just a hobby. And then this love transformed from generation to a generation, and none of the generation took it up to entrepreneurship. It stayed just a hobby, heritage, something like it runs from generation to generation. So I went to a breakage point. I lost my father in 2015, and it was a very hard time to me, and I was doing the tea mix alone. So I was I took something from my father I will never been taught anywhere. And it reminds me of my father. Why do I don't take it up from this place to a bigger place? And here is the big question came. how can I transform this tradition into innovation and sustainability? And in that time, I was studying in Zaid University. I was in environmental sciences and sustainability. So the pillars of sustainability was throughout my journey and in my roots. So I said, I'll do my brand and I'll make it sustainable in such a way. Packaging, transforming waste, recycling, reusing, all of the pillars of sustainability. And in 2017, I started the business being sustainable, innovative, the first Emirati tea brand specialized in blending various kinds of tea from various countries over the world. So I wanted to set the mood of Arabian people, European people, Asian people in one blend that combines all teas in one Emirati brand.
Wow, impressive. So you're also known as the first Emirati tea master, right? Recognized by the Tea Masters Association. Can you please tell us more about your experience in that? I could tell it's all coming from your passion for tea, as you mentioned that it comes and runs through your family. But what actually really pushed you to pursue that, and what is the link, the cultural link between heritage, sustainability, and innovation?
So gaining this certification, it's not just a professional milestone in my life. I feel it's very personal because by this I'm honoring my father's heritage. And I decided through my journey, I'm like 8 to 9 years with my entrepreneurship journey, to be professional. I'll be the first Emirati to work professionally in this field. Because as you know, all people are going towards coffee. Can we have raised hands here? How many coffee or tea people? Coffee. Tea? So always tea is less than coffee. And that's why I decided to like shut the light on tea, because like أنا أشوف إن الشاي مظلوم. No one is drinking tea because no one innovated in tea. Tea remained in like the way that like 1,000 years or 100 years back, and no one did any innovation. Ask. اوكي الكرك انا اشربه كل يوم، بس هو مشروب مو بصحي. واي؟ لان الشاي عنده قابليه انه يسحب المعادن مثل الحديد والزنك. الحليب غني بكل هالمعادن، فانت تحط شيئين مع بعض زين. So for me في قرن الراس أنا أحب إني أقدم الشيء يكون healthy ومبتكر. فإلين ما طلع حليب مليحة أنا ما كان عندي شيء أسويه مبتكر. خلط عندنا إحنا في قرن الراس خلطة اسمها خلطة الكرك، نسويها بحليب مليحة بحيث إن نغلي الحليب يعني 5 دقائق 6 دقائق يكون وقت الغلي. آخر فورة اللي هي آخر 2 3 دقائق نضيف الشاي. ليش؟ عشان ما نبغى الشاي يلتقي مع الحليب فترة طويلة وينحط تحت درجة حرارة عالية فتستوي chemical reactions، فنحن نخليه بس 3-4 دقائق. بهاي الطريقة الكرك يكون صحي، ما ضرك وايد، وحليب مليحة وايد حلو خفيف، وفي سكر طبيعي، فأنت ما تحتاج تضيف سكر على الكرك. فيعني هالانوفيشن اللي احنا وصلنا له، إلين ما طلع حليب مليحة احنا كنا ضايعين.
Wow. May I ask you like how long it took you to do this research about tea and also being innovative with tea?
Actually the tea research يمكن من I was 2-3 years I was drinking tea, and all over my life, I was just doing research for tea, and it was with my senior project, the bachelor's, the master's. All my projects is about tea, and how can I transform tea into innovation, into a business, into a patent, research patent based. So I have a research using tea waste to purify water from heavy metals. And I have another business, natural compost from tea, and another natural ink from tea. And now we are working on perfumes and candles from recycled tea. So we are thinking of the economic cycle of the tea, since it was a tea leaf, a cup of tea that will set our mood, and a tea waste that we will recycle and use to leave this circle with zero waste.
Wonderful. May I ask everyone again, so coffee or tea?
Chai.
Okay, Fatma, next question. From your perspective, how important is it to integrate sustainability into education and everyday decision making, especially among the youth?
So sustainability is not an option. It should be the DNA of how we live, how we talk, and how we do our daily practices, from waking up, spraying our perfume, drinking our tea, go to work, drive our car, do our daily routine things, and go back home. So if sustainability remain just in classrooms, it will remain as theory. But we should think about it. So as Fatma, I love tea. So I think about the thing that I love and drink every day and see every day to be sustainable. And every person here have something that he loves, a passion. So just think about your passion. What's the economic cycle? Where was it? And when you have it, and after you have it, where it's gone? So just think of this economic cycle, and الدنيا بتكون بخير.
Yes, I agree actually, and you actually end up with so much more satisfaction from your passion.
Sure.
Like for me, for example, let's talk about fashion and creating sustainable fabric and textiles. This also applies as well, you know, looking for ways, sustainable ways to create and recreate already existing material.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fatma.
You're welcome.
Moving to AI and emerging technologies, I love how we are combining sustainability and AI over here. Iman, you're an AI specialist and the first founder of an Emirati company in the metaverse. What inspired you to step into these emerging fields?
First of all, thanks for having me here. And regarding the metaverse, or what we called it since 2018, augmented and virtual reality, I was that type of person who liked to explore everything. So I just tried everything, education, social works, everything. One time I worked with one company on metaverse, virtual and augmented reality. And they give me to manage the project in virtual reality. I didn't have that experience in virtual reality or managing the projects. But I finished the project within 6 months, and the project took 1 year. Then I realized that the virtual and augmented reality, what we called it metaverse nowadays, it's my passion. This is what I will continue to work on it. So when you say, I find Iman on metaverse, yes, I find Iman in metaverse. You know, when I face the challenges, I like to take these challenges. I like to solve it. I had the time management between my studying. I studied electrical engineer, At the same time, I was working with this company, so I do the managing between study and to do the work and learn more about the metaverse.
Amazing. I actually went through your Instagram and I saw that even your business card uses augmented reality. It's amazing. I love how you're so invested in this. Thank you, Iman. So the metaverse is still a new and evolving platform. How do you see it shaping industries, culture, and sustainability in the next decade?
Actually, when you dive into metaverse, you will see it's a very practical technology. When I learned this, and I know the metaverse, it's very practical technology, I'd like to put it on all the organization, everyday life, how we can use it in a practical way. So the metaverse, where we have immersive, semi-immersive, fully immersive, even the PlayStation, we called it immersive. The semi-immersive, the augmented reality, the one that we're using with the Snapchat, and fully immersive, the one that we're using with the VR headset. So we're using the
New
metaverse
information
everywhere.
right here.
Yes. So we're using the metaverse everywhere.
Amazing. Do you believe what makes the metaverse more than just a trend? Is it something that's going to be here for a very temporal time, or is it here to stay?
Actually, from my point of view, that metaverse, it's not just a trend. It's something that will stay. Because everything that we transfer it to digital, everything is digitalized now. So the metaverse brings all the world on one platform. So it's not just a trend, it will stay.
Does that apply to NFTs as well?
Yes, the NFTs. We're using it in all the industries. I can give you an example. One of the projects that we're working on it was for NCEMA. They convert their annual training into metaverse, a virtual training. And instead of doing the nuclear experiment on the field, they are doing it now on the metaverse. They save cost, time, and it helps the environment as well.
I love how we're merging now two sectors together. So how do you envision the collaboration between AI, entrepreneurship, and sustainability in shaping the future of the UAE and the wider region?
Actually, it's a great trio. The entrepreneurs will create new things using AI, and then the AI will make it sustainable.
Wonderful. Thank you, Iman. So one last question to our speakers, both. If you could leave one message for the audience and next generation about how technology, innovation, and sustainability can come together to create a future that is not only longer lasting, but also more meaningful and connected, what would that message be? Something that would be unforgettable to our audience today.
So number one, follow your passion. And there is an equation. Sustainability and education is our roots. Entrepreneurship is our trunk. And innovation is the fruit. That's it.
Thank you, Fatma and Iman.
Believe in your ideas, believe in yourself, don't give up, and follow your passion.
Great advice. Thank you so much. And I would also address my great gratitude to Sharjah Youth Council for their great support in preparing for this panel and arranging for it. I would also thank our audience for being part of this conversation, and it's your turn. Any questions addressed to our speakers?
كنا واضحين يعني ما في أسئلة. الحمد لله.
you.